shape. It would look better in boxers.
What?
I went to an ice bar. That was cool.
Nobody looks like it's wearing boxers.
I went upstairs, sweatshirt, and came down with a cat.
Those are not the same thing.
However,
They
they
have
came
the
down
same
with a
effect.
sweatshirt.
similar effects.
I mean, came down with the sweatshirt also.
I feel like the cat is more of a localized heat source.
Yes.
Cats function better as blankets than sweatshirts. If you're trying to substitute one for the other.
If you can get it
The cat does
explain.
not cover my body.
You could put a cat on your lap and pretend that it's a blanket much better than you can put a cat on your head and pretend it's a sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had a fight. Nils had
If you were
4
trying to
hit points.
substitute a sweatshirt for a cat or a cat for a sweatshirt.
Brandon's I was like, do I still have that 84 damage? It's like, well, at the moment at least.
I
yes.
don't
Oh
believe
no,
you.
I have 63 damage. I have 84 hit points left.
Oh yeah, I'm still dead.
Just gotta follow the process.
I
It's
think,
fine.
I cannot remember. It's got
How much health do you have
Galil?
left?
84 hit points.
Left.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm really trying to say is the cat is a space heater.
But when I polymorph back,
Nils was
Well, yeah, but it's
No,
I'm gonna have
one
more
bad roll
like a
away from
hot-
joining me.
uh,
like a hot
Yeah.
too bad.
a hot,
It
yeah,
was
heating
like
pad
normal.
or like a
Yeah,
hot water
normally.
bottle.
Yeah,
Please don't
that
come
makes
through the
that
door.
I can
Yeah.
understand. But a
Starts
blanket.
coming through the door. Please do not
A
come
very
through
small
the door.
blanket.
Temporary.
Please
Cats
don't.
are about lap size.
Give you temporary hit points.
Oh, you're still alive.
Yeah, but usually when I grab a
So I
blanket
still
to
have
stay
60.
warm,
The rough
I don't
part
just
was all
put the
those
blanket on my lap and
reflex
call
save for
myself
half
good.
damage.
What's
It's
your hit
still
point?
I usually like lay it out so it goes
Right
down
now
on
it's
my
like-
legs at least.
Yeah.
That's polymorph.
And that's if
Yeah.
I'm just like sitting back and watching a movie where I can bring the blanket all the way up.
63 points of
Okay,
damage.
I have
So when I
a thing
polymorph
I
back,
You would stay at 84.
cross-legged a
Oh,
lot, so
I
the
don't-
cat fits perfectly lap
Because it's
and
a
legs.
temporary con bonus. So,
So-
it doesn't increase your maximum, it gives you 10 hit points.
I guess
And the
that's
temp leaves
this
first.
is a difference
Yeah.
in our versions
Oh,
of
so
sitting.
your
Probably.
life total would stay the same.
My
because
cat
your
is
temp
also
got
like
weighted
20
through
pounds,
first.
Yeah.
so there's a whole
I
lot
It's
more
a bubble
to
that goes in
spread
front.
out.
I thought there was something about the barbarian that
That was
said...
Nope.
3rd edition rules.
Yeah. Third edition did that.
Oh, there
And
was...
they thought it was dumb that you could die after combat.
That's what it was, yeah, because you could end your rage and then fall unconscious.
Okay,
Or
so
straight
then
up be
I
dead.
did some...
Oh,
I did
yeah,
some
that's true.
Depending on how
combats.
small
No,
you're actually.
technically you
With,
can do that in this edition too. We just choose to ignore it.
Oh, okay, I guess technically, yeah, it was the barbarian did, and the unchained barbarian said, hold on a second.
Yeah,
And we're
Unchained
like,
Barbarian said
yeah,
you're
that-
going to get temp hit points instead. And we've just decided that that's how that's supposed to work.
Because it's, yeah,
Normal Barbarian is you get con up. That increases your HP, but it does not give you temp hit points. So when your con goes back down, your level and your maximum both drop.
that's true, yeah.
So then I did some...
Which is why a
instances
lot
with
of
Sheila
Barbarian
wrong.
guides will
Or right,
tell
depending on
you to
the-
be like, you probably need like the Die Hard feat or a couple of other feats so you don't just die. But yeah, we just tend to ignore it because it's annoying and
Yeah.
pedantic.
Basically.
Okay, well that's good to clarify then. We keep forgetting to use our mana batteries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to leave them not minimized. Because I had last time, but I did the thing where I minimized them, so we like forgot about them.
Well, no,
No,
I
there's just
saw
enough-
them.
I
I
did
just
nothing
only-
but beat somebody in the face
Oh,
like
so
my
you didn't
entire
actually cast any
combat.
spells.
There
I
was no
cast
reason
one
for me to do
spell.
it.
Want half
Yeah.
of a iced mocha?
It's liquid, so
Sorry,
I'll
like,
drink
he
it.
was casting
Okay.
spells, he was casting
My
spells.
throat is in
Yeah.
need of liquid now.
So I was going to leave them up until I need to actually look at the map.
I'm going to the
Bye, Margie.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. So, you guys did just have your funnel fight. Funnel fight.
I mean, other than the mechanical difficulties that
I
go
think
with a fight
technically
that
there were probably
extravagant,
A
it
couple
was
of other
pretty
issues
fun.
they had.
That's fair.
Yeah,
There was just
the only
main
reason
one.
like half the party almost died is because there was a single AoE spellcaster.
Poof.
Because if it wasn't for those spells being like
It's
You
two
still
like
take-
chain lightnings, yeah.
good damage after, even if you pass the save, we would have been fine.
AoE's nasty.
Well, yeah,
Especially-
when we don't have rings of evasion.
Yeah. Or like a rogue.
Or like a rogue.
Someone with evasion, yeah, that's fair. So, you guys had that fight. The dragon didn't actually die; she just fled.
Yep.
So make sure I remember that correct. 'Cause I didn't actually write that down. So I'm pretty sure
Okay,
she
she
fled.
pieced the fuck out of there.
Oh yeah, she
The
was at
fuck
so low
out.
hit points that it's like, hey, her morale is when she gets this few hit points, she skedaddles.
It's always nice when you can actually activate that part of the morale.
Yeah,
in
it's like,
Adventure
hey,
Guide.
out of 200 hit points, when they get to below 30, they do this thing.
You're
Well,
like
there's
the
not much
damage-
chance of that happening.
You're like the
but-
damage output of PC characters.
Which is anyone at this level.
The damage
just-
of even NPCs is very on par. You're talking about gear gives you like a 4, +4 to damage, like on average.
Yeah, it's
Over
just
just a
enhancement bonus
character
or
at this
maybe
level.
Elemental.
So hitting that like exactly 15% of your life total.
It's really hard. So many NPCs in Skull and Shackles have morales where they'll lose at like they'll about peace out at like 15 or 20, and I'm like, no. What ends up happening 99% of the time is you get them to like 24, and I'm like, cool. They'll do something that'll help them escape,
Yeah.
and then before it's their turn again, they're dead.
Yes. I know Bruzoli has a. I think
Barzillai.
Yeah, his is more reasonable
Barzillai.
because his is like 75 hit points.
I feel like in our
'Cause
game,
he
it
has
a
should
75
be
and
canon
50 hit point
Barzali
limit.
at this point.
Huh?
I think in our group, it should just be canon it's Barzali. Because you said it for so long.
So
But
what
now
happens
Barzillai sounds
if
wrong,
they
even
had
though I'm the one
killed
who pointed it out.
Brazali
There we
right
go.
here in the campaign?
It
well,
would have
we
been nice
would've-
if they
we
killed
The
would've-
him.
same as if we kill him in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because
like-
they killed him in this temple.
We wouldn't
Yeah.
change much, and we would have failed our mission. So,
No. I meant like in the campaign. So if you were to kill him here or the Opera House, that
It
doesn't
didn't
actually
matter.
change the campaign.
No,
You
he,
didn't
he
have
goes
a
to
chance
hell early. He goes to hell like what, 2 months early?
our characters
at
would have
most.
gone into retirement sooner.
I mean, yeah, basically, you didn't have a chance to fight him before this.
Because in the theater, he was like, "Hey, fuck you, peace."
Oh, the end of the third book?
In the actual the massacre
House.
at the Opera House.
It wasn't Bars. It
He
wasn't.
wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't actually there even.
Oh, that's right. It was an
someone
imposter.
Yeah.
imposing.
I
It was
forgot
a
about that.
different demon polymorph any object into him.
Yep.
And I was like, that's actually hella clever. So you guys thought you killed him and he's there, and you're like, son of a bitch, what the hell? He was like, yeah, that's a thing.
Nope. Also not that app.
So
But yeah, if you killed him in this temple, like dead, I think in our game, after we finished the temple, we came back like 3 weeks later and did kill him.
Ended up being
Like,
2 or 3 weeks
yeah,
later. Yeah, and then
it
you
was
went
just-
through to
We
clear out
went
the
through
temple.
clear all the rooms and we killed him.
And you ended up just
Yeah.
finding him. And
Doesn't
killing
matter
him.
when you kill him. His things are in motion at that point in time where he's just like, "Yep,
Yeah.
I fucked up.
It's
I'm down in
crazy that we
hell."
leveled up so fast in a matter of like a few weeks. Considering how the rest of the campaign kind of went.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
well, I mean, if you do a super trial by fire, whereas
This temple
in
was the
real,
Oh, right,
hardest
yeah.
thing.
Oh, his temple was
It's still crazy
silly.
to think about.
This
It's
temple
like-
was like we just
Well,
had
it
the
was-
power level.
Okay, besides the hallway and the... Okay, so I like the defenses thing if you attack the ritual at the beginning. But because of how it's set up, well, yeah, you walk in and it's right there. Oh, look at that big fire pillar.
Like, look at that
People are like,
obviously ominous thing we should stop.
Hey, let's go to this side hallway.
Right?
team always go left.
Team always go. It's a thing right there, though.
Well, but it's the room you're in.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't go left if there's something in your room.
Right.
it's
That would also trigger the same thing eventually. You go enough lefts and you just kite all the mobs back into the main room.
what's the type of
You just walk left and kick over something. Okay, now let's take care of the
What's-
flaming thing.
what's the type of old school computer games where like you played the RPG purely by typing?
Oh.
Text-based RPG.
Text based, yeah. So it's like text based RPG. Like you see the monster in front of you, go left. Okay, the monster didn't pursue.
Yeah, so... Just
Render.
So for some reason it does this thing where if I zoom out and then zoom back in, it will render. Hey, no.
But yeah, killing Berzali at any point in the campaign is what you're supposed to do.
It's like kill him eventually.
If somehow, which I don't think you could, but just statistics say it's possible at some point for someone to do it eventually, you tracked him down and killed him before you even got to the temple.
Yeah.
Like, theoretically, you lose the game because you don't know enough about him to keep digging into the other part of the campaign, and he'll trigger all of his own.
Actually, there's a thing on him that leads you into the fifth book. Because he didn't have his heart, he had the child's crux where his heart was. And that's how you find out about the contract in the first
Yeah,
place.
okay.
So, that actually is almost true. Besides that, yeah, you would literally been lost. Yeah, but like, so like they came in.
You couldn't pursue it. Because that's, again, the not appropriate level.
Yeah, besides that part, but it is technically the lead in.
Yeah, I also don't think you can make the checks, because those are
You probably
brutal
weren't
DCs.
able. Yeah, you probably weren't able to actually.
Was there
open
like
it.
30? I think one of them was there a 40 check at some point? I feel like there
I
was.
wouldn't be surprised.
Because I know, like,
Take
wasn't the
one.
ritual for him to pull off like a DC 40 or 50, something like
It was
ridiculous?
like DC 30 caster level check,
Oh, that's what it was.
and you are higher level than him.
Hmm.
He was level 12, so technically yes, not by much, but yes.
So, whereas in normal, I guess.
Oh yeah, so because you guys came through here, they like, came to this balcony and like, hey, look at that thing. So of course they dealt with that and jumped down and just went for it.
Mhm.
He was like, oh, look at this thing. Let's go over here and ignore it for now.
So as far as things are looking like right now for Brazali and crew, we walked in, killed 2 of the Silver Ravens, and the only thing that happened against Brazali and his forces is his dragons hurt.
Which once
And
I come back to life, I can cast heal. I just need to not be dead.
So he can tell you the dragon cast invisibility and flew away. But yeah.
Imagining Rosalia's gonna like, hey, wonder how long it'll take for me to like be able to yank on that leash without killing it.
I mean,
I imagine Barzali's leash is hurt. I don't think he has a nice way of saying stop being a bitch.
given that it's Brazali that and he's a torturer, that's fair actually. Oh yeah, the Chose Crux. Yeah, it was a DC 35 disable device or DC 25 intelligence check. Yeah. Which are both like, F you.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What?
Whoa.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that, Gus.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
It's sad. Aww.
That was very sad.
Well, thanks for the heads up at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our condolences.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Thank you for letting us know, Gus. We appreciate it.
Wow.
Our thoughts go out to you and your family.
So, I guess where we are with this at the moment. You guys did just finish that fun fight on the balcony. Blah.
Mm-hmm.
Brazali walked out. Gosh, now I'm not gonna remember which one I'm supposed to say. Brazali,
Just combine them.
Brazalali?
Yeah, sure. Why
It
not?
was
I like Brazalali. I feel it's Brazalali. Because it kind of sounds like Gallipoli.
I feel like I have to say it different. I feel like I have to say his name different every time now. Frick. Mr. B walks out.
Let's not call him Mr. B.
Hello, boys and girls.
Sir through.
Barzillai walks out. Sir B was my father.
You can just call me B.
Sup, B? Can I call you G? Why would you call me G?
No, just B.
You're such as the B weirdos. Wait, Mr. T. There you go. Aww. That's even more sad now.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
He was a youngster too.
Baby boy.
Frick, man.
Just through him chatting with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked with him a couple times. He came in and hung out with us.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Yeah, 20 is really young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had some cool shirts. Well, we appreciate you letting us know, at least. And you have a good day as well, sir. Yeah.
I do wish I could have heard some stories. It's cool to think that somebody like watching it, like just watching us derp around, decided they wanted to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would have been fun to hear those stories.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely would have.
I would have loved to have them just like pop into chat and just be like, "Hey, I got some people. We're playing. Like these are what we're doing, and this is what we're learning," and just be like,
That would have been awesome. Sometimes kind of crap just happens, and it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
"Too soon."
All right. Well, I guess back to this.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys just had the fight, the dead hounds, 2 of the silver ravens, the dead Maldrick, who will be brought back shortly. But yeah, Brazzoli walked out, basically looked at the hounds, like just after the fight ended, ready to fight, like what the crap's going on. Realized fighting had stopped, saw the hounds, recognized them, and even though he'd met you guys before and you guys kind of mentioned ish what you guys were doing, he now realizes there's a lot more going on here than he knew. So he's like, hey, we're gonna have a fun little talk in regards to these things and what that basically implies. So you had some interesting things you were doing to those corpses,
Yeah.
and potentially the 2 other silver ravens.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to cut their heads off.
Yes.
I'm not gonna let that happen.
Why?
You're dead. You don't need to talk.
I'm asking why.
So
Listen.
when Galir goes to cut their heads off, and I'm like, I think we've done enough here with these 2.
No, my instructions are quite clear. I need the head of just about every raven I can get my hands on.
Not part of our mission. You don't get these heads.
I'm sorry, I just pictured a bag of a bunch of bird heads.
I mean, I feel like we've talked about this at least a little bit, but this is my mission.
The hounds are fine. You can have whatever you need from the hounds. But we've taken care of these 2 silver ravens, and we're done desecrating their corpses.
Are you doing anything physically to stop me? Because my plan at this point is to just swing my sword down and cut
I
off.
will, actually. I'm in front of you, so if you plan
I'm
to
doing
step beside me, okay? So, at this point, what are we ruling this as?
Well, I imagine we're going to
How are you stopping him is a first question.
Well, I mean, I don't really, like, parrying isn't really in the rule set for D&D.
No.
So, at this point,
Well, not unless you're a swashbuckler.
oh, yes. And parrying shouldn't be a rule set, or at least how it is in this game. So how do you want to rule it, Rock?
Both of you make an attack roll.
Did
34.
not do very well. Yeah, I only got a 27. No. Yeah, 27.
So basically, as you swing down with Jorminger, he pretty much kind of steps in and basically more or less just blocks it.
All
so
right.
it lands like
And then
next
with
to him.
my other sword, I want this one to go to the right to the neck.
Oh, he's getting all serious here now.
Well, I guess I'm gonna block, and then with the other side of my blade, go right
Yeah.
to his neck. So that's a 36.
Okay.
And I will be like, I told you, Galir. That's enough.
Is that a spider?
And I'll just, without saying anything, I'll look you directly in the eyes. And then I believe I need a save of some kind. Which one? I need to look up Ice Tomb again.
There's a will save.
Will save.
Do I see these guys going at it?
Yes, this is
I
all in like
pass.
a few seconds.
You are
but
not frozen in a block of ice.
Okay. Now Nils, with all 4 hit points, is just like, guys, do we fucking have to do this right now?
No. We are going to take these silver ravens, and I think I'll be like, if you guys want to proceed with Bars of Light without me, you may go ahead. I'm going to turn around, grab both the bodies, and walk away.
I mean, I just gotta.
As you even like go grab the bars live like or Brazali be like, okay, hold on a second here.
In the meantime, Nils is just under his breath, like, do you want to aim at him or the sword?
He's
Like-
very much stepping
like,
up
If Galir looks over, he's just kind of like.
and kind of like. We need to talk with all. I think I need to have a talk with all 4 of you first. Because clearly there's more here at foot than was initially led on.
Okay, so with
I
a
think the problem
spellcraft
might
check.
be what's in hand.
So with a spellcraft check, how long does a raised dead take?
A minute.
Are you guys still technically going at it?
No.
Okay.
I am, as I'm talking to Bars of Light and thinking about the spellcraft, I am.
He's kind of like stepped next to you two, by the way.
Well, I was
Stepped
on
up.
the other side. I was between Mitch and the body, so
Yeah, and he's.
between
I
us,
guess. Yeah, so there's a
So-
little T there.
I grab Noah's body and I start dragging him to
He kind of.
Damien.
He's kind of hold on a second. Let's calm down a moment. Let's first fix your other friend.
Some of that's mine.
And he calls the head priest, gets him to come over to fix your friend.
I'm just gonna continue walking and be like, I'll be back.
He like puts his foot down so you can't drag the body away.
Step off the body, bitch boy.
I go invisible.
I cast the invisibility.
Holy moly, this is not how I thought this would start
I
off.
can't wait to come back to life and then just end this thing immediately.
I tell Barzillai that I'm sorry this is happening, but I do need to get these bodies out of here.
Nils sees the invisibility,
So
or rather sees you go
he-
invisible, and he just kind of holsters his guns and goes, I don't have fucking time for this. He's just like, and he just goes in search of somebody to be like, anybody got heals?
Oh, he called someone out and to come
Thank you.
help.
Do you mind if I smoke in here?
And then noticing that
Before you get to that.
cast your spell, I will teleport away.
Hold on. So you cast invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
He casts see invisibility. Barzillai will.
Dimension anchor.
Who has invisibility purge? Yeah.
Oh.
It says, hold on, all of you. There is a lot more that needs to be discussed here. Everyone.
That's fine. Nothing that needs to be discussed has anything to do with the bodies of these two ravens.
God, I wish I was there to tell you you're fucking wrong.
Clearly, they do. Clearly, a lot needs to
I
be.
could go find the other two. I feel like I could handle the one of them by myself.
I guess I should clarify. Nothing that we need to discuss has to do with desecrating these corpses.
Why do you care?
That's a good question. Why do you care?
While apparently their goals were opposed to the goals that I was set out with, that does not mean that these two people need to have their heads cut off and their bodies destroyed.
I fail to see the difference between those two and these. Is it just because you find these hideous and atrocious that you don't mind me desecrating their bodies, as you say?
Or is it because he
I believe they also have a fairly noble
noticing
purpose.
a specific symbol that you have?
So obviously,
Somewhere out there, Jojo
A
Jones is just
not
like,
an evil
"A
person,
snake?"
or because he feels a conscience and therefore doesn't want to, or she.
you could call it a conscience, yes.
For lack of a better term.
If I may be so blunt, just because my orders were to protect you, doesn't mean I like you or anything you're doing.
I'm not asking you to.
So, you can probably guess that while I ended up on the wrong side of the conflict as these two, that does not mean I do not respect them, and I do not wish to see their corpses desecrated.
I don't really understand. They are not there anymore. We would have to call them back to those hunks of meat for them to actually be them. You do understand how the process of life and death works, correct?
I know how respecting who they were is, and if you continue to bring this up, I think there will only be one of us on this team from here on out. And most likely, that will end with a death.
Uh-huh.
Potentially me shooting myself out of the stupidity of all of this.
I know she's right. Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
His sword, he's actually insane. This is why this is stupid.
Well,
Is he
that's not very reasonable.
Is he insane? The sword talks back?
I think
That
that's
is
the
a good
worst part of
question.
this. Or,
So
I
let
guess,
me-
as we should say, he says the sword talks back.
Let me start off with this. Since clearly you're not from around here, when are you from?
Ooh, someone asks the good questions.
Can looking at the hounds. I do know
I
what those are.
give the specific date that we were from. I feel no reason to hold that information back at this point.
68 something. Yeah. He kind of gets a very intrigued look on his face. So what is it that you are... Why is it you are in this date then?
We already told you our
Specifically
mission
for
was to
this,
save your
you were going
life.
to die, and our current employer did not want you to die because he valued you as a potential ally.
And who is your employer?
A cyclops who goes by the name Soligan? A Mocha, I believe?
Yep, that's the one.
Interesting.
How are you on your Golgan history?
You'd say I didn't pay attention to those books growing up.
I don't think anyone did.
It definitely wasn't an interest of mine.
Just know before we started fussing with the timeline, we remember Cyclopses as feral beasts who had nothing to do with civilization. Now,
Feral.
you have Cyclopses interbred with human, elvish, and dwarvish cultures throughout the land. And as I'm saying this, I'm not taking my eyes off of Galir.
So Austin is being raised dead. It's been quite a minute yet, but he's getting there.
I got heals.
Not yet.
No.
He's busy bringing someone back to life first.
When I'm done, I'm being I got a nice
heals can happen. There was
I
a
got a nice
cleric
heal
here
for you.
doing some heals.
Like,
Oh, I guess he actually could have brought in another cleric who could please poke you.
he's
a
like,
few
he doesn't
times,
have more
actually.
than one?
Okay, he brought over the main cleric who can actually bring people back
That's
to
what
life.
I call balling on a budget.
Okay,
Well,
they're
we
not,
need
he's not that short on resources.
Yay, cool.
Yay, cool.
Neil's just sitting there looking really toasty. Smoking.
So, do we
And
need to
also-
settle this first? Is this going to take care of itself? Or is
As I
someone-
said, I will be back. And I go to pick up the bodies to leave.
Let's just say I want to make sure they don't come back either. So where are you taking them?
Do I... The dragon told us about the specter in the bell tower.
Oh, he
And-
saw the thing.
Well,
up there.
but we asked. The
I believe
dragon.
we did ask.
Oh, you
someone
guys did
about
ask
it.
about that, yeah.
And the dragon said it was someone who used to be here when this was a Church of Aridin.
Yeah, that's right. I do. We did have that conversation.
Please do not think of this too much as an insult to your god, but I imagine every inch of this has been removed of all traces of Aridin.
Just about.
By just amount, do you mean is there a spot that's more focused towards Aridin than others that
No.
we could take care of this?
Let's just say there's a relic of old times that still lingers here.
Then let's take care of this and bring the relic in if you don't mind.
Take care of what exactly?
You said you wanted these bodies taken care of properly. I want it done respectfully.
I want to make sure they don't come back to life.
That's what I meant by properly. You have a way to do that. Is that what you're saying?
Let's just say that only makes it a little more difficult for them to bring them back. It is still possible. Are you trying to dispose of the bodies?
With respect, yes.
Not yet.
Then are you at least going to be able to keep it out of his hands?
I plan on keeping it out of primarily the Silver Raven's hands. And guarded.
If you can guard them and keep them non-desecrated, then you may have the corpses.
Are you okay with that for now?
It's not really about what I want.
Is it okay with it for now?
He's got another idea.
And what would he
Love you too.
what would he suggest then?
Goodbye.
I will.
Bye, friends.
Bye!
Bye.
I don't believe you need to know.
We need to know if it involves these bodies.
Let's just
It does
say
Involve those bodies.
Will it involve desecrating the bodies of the other two ravens when we come across them?
No, those would be far too difficult to locate and hunker down. We already figured out that the best way to find the four in the first place was to draw them to us. I do not believe that I, on my own, could go out searching for the other two and successfully find them.
What did I miss?
because he basically sits up.
Like
I'm
Nils
small. Hold up. Okay, what did I miss?
they tried to kill each other.
Oh.
Galier's sword wanted the heads of the ravens.
Oh.
She didn't want that. I was kind of afraid that I might have to start shooting, and then I realized I wasn't feeling so great, so I didn't.
I'm gonna just boop him with a heal spell.
He's been healed a bit, so yeah.
Okay.
Now back to
You guys are being booped a little
Anyway,
bit.
glad you're back.
Yeah. Me too. That was unpleasant.
I would imagine so.
Now I'd ask why your sword wants them, but you're just gonna say because it does,
Indeed.
which isn't an actual answer. So why do you not want their heads removed?
Disrespectful.
Not really. Their souls are gone.
I
This
tried
is
this
merely
already.
food
he
for the
he does
circle
not
of
believe
life.
that that is a good enough explanation
They
for why this
don't
is not
have
a problem.
Hold their claim
Or
over
she
these
does not
anymore.
believe.
I mean, there are magics that will completely and utterly recreate these if a powerful enough entity wants them to come back. These are meaningless lumps of meat.
Irregardless.
No, it's not irregardless. That's the truth of it. That is now a lump of meat that something will eat, and something will eat that, and go back into the circle.
Spoken like a druid.
It is also odd that he has no problems with me doing what I need to do with the hounds. However, these people, different.
The hounds operate outside of the material plane.
The hounds are evil.
If you were to tell me that these
four
bodies
were not.
were to be
At
put
least two.
into the
Yeah,
circle of
spokes
life, the
seems
grounds,
pretty
their
material.
bodies decompose and be
Don't
used
think
as
that's what it
nutrients for
means.
other
I
plants,
know.
I understand that.
Yet.
If you simply say, because a psychotic man wants to cut
Gotta
off
have
their
a sense of
heads
humor if you're gonna cut them
because,
off, I suppose.
then that's not okay.
But nice digs you got here.
So who did we have again?
Rosali's here.
No, I mean which ones did we kill?
Linnea and
Linnea
Damien.
and Damien, so the cleric and the paladin.
Okay, well, before we start murdering each other over literal lumps of flesh, like actual feral beasts, what do we do about the other two?
I would just like it on the record that I have no intention of killing any of you. You guys are very important for the plan.
I don't plan on any of you dying at the moment either.
Nils again just kind of side eyes.
Yeah,
Just
neither do I.
Soligan's plan.
We have a job.
I guess technically not you specifically, but you are all chosen by Soligan, and therefore are important to the plan.
fair.
So we good at the moment then?
Well, this
So long
argument's
as you understand which
irrelevant
one
for
has
now. We
murderous
have a
intent
mission.
and which ones do not.
Good enough. So at this point, you two are healed up. No one's helped you guys yet because you were in a bit of a tussle and yeah.
We're waiting to see if you guys actually pop off.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, I'm fully healed.
Nils rolls back to like Aldrich and he's like, got what he has what's left of the picnic. Just
That was quite enjoyable.
yeah, where's it?
So,
I was hungry.
yeah, the important stuff. The other two.
So yes,
Can you help us find them?
I can try. I will use what resources I have. It will take a little bit of time, but I will try to scry on them to see where they have ran off to.
And what's the most secure room in this place?
Behind me, implying back here.
Okay,
It is
That's where the bodies are
protected
going.
with forbiddance.
because they're gonna want them. We used us as bait for the first half. Now we're gonna use them as bait for the second half.
That is a good call.
Once our mission's done, we can divulge into petty squabbles.
But for the moment, he has a point. They will probably want their companions back, even though they do have dozens of others. They are the most powerful as the leaders. And not
And then I'm gonna go to pick them up. I was the neutral
he
third party.
was, as that was happening, he was having two of his clerics grab
them
the
instead,
bodies.
as a true neutral party.
There you go.
Yeah, and carry them. And he basically carries
Well,
them into
technically, he has the evil alignment.
this
The
lawfully.
three of you have the neutral alignment, so you're all the neutral party.
I mean, if we were going by that, I would be the guy as the one who is true neutral.
Same.
He's true neutral.
Well, drop your sword and I agree, but
Did you go to
I am
lawful or
true neutral.
yes,
I cannot speak for Jorminger.
exactly.
Which
Also
by extension makes
listen.
you lawful neutral.
Oh, hey, I'm getting a call
You
from
could argue that.
Smartsville.
Because you follow a code. That code is
Sounds
Jorminger's
dumb.
will.
You can argue that. Yeah.
Who's this idiot?
It follows a specific set of rules and a code that is dictated by, as far as we know, unaligned entity intelligence.
Are
Yeah.
you, Spencer, are you lawful neutral or true neutral?
Lawful?
I thought you were lawful because of the whole bodyguard, like
I was
following your.
It could be shifting, but he
It's
was
shifting,
lawful.
but still probably more lawful.
Okay.
At least
And
for
a
now.
lawful neutral can still be the code that you've defined.
Yeah, it's definitely.
You can, if you were just a person who ran off purely the honor system, no good, no evil, purely the
Yeah.
honor system,
Yeah.
that where you'd be with
Yeah,
lawful
that's lawful
neutral.
neutral. The only reason I still argue true neutral for Galir is that like he has followed things in the past, but he's not like this is probably the longest he's been following this one thing for so long.
Mhm.
But there's no guarantee that he'll stick with it.
Yeah, for like thousands of years at this point. Frick.
I mean,
Thanks, Brock. But like every time he dips into something, he takes it pretty seriously until the second he doesn't, and then without any particular care.
When
in the
does that
world, he
happen?
switches to
Yeah, it
something
depends on
else.
when the switch app goes off.
But yeah, Nilsson definitely still lawful. Just his own law. He's like, I fulfilled my bits of the contract to the Spell Slingers, and then I found something that overrides.
Honestly, I don't think he's like necessarily loyal as much as he is just interested.
Fair.
whatever you say, it's your character.
Yeah.
I'm just coming from our perspective.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the only thing you listen to, and you're always checking with it. So
Solomon as well. I have not disobeyed Solomon since we got since we got here.
yeah, because your sword confirmed it.
If your sword said no, then you wouldn't do it. Is what Austin's saying.
where I'm getting at.
Well, we
I
haven't
have not
gotten
yet
push
gotten
comes
to a
shove.
point where I've had to make that decision, so I don't think we can decide whether or not I would make one decision or the
It's
other.
ultimately your character. Nothing we say is even relevant. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna babysit some corpses until some idiots show up and try and take them.
So, sets the corpses in there.
I'm going to sit on top of them.
You heard walking into the room first, but yeah.
I'm gonna sit like on top of the corpses.
So
Because I'm not rolling. I don't have spellcraft to roll for teleportation, but if I'm touching them, they're attended and they can't take them. That is how that works, I believe.
Okay, I get what you mean by that, but I'd say that's a gray line, to be fair.
Can I put them in some sort of backpack then?
If you're sitting on them, no. If you are holding the corpse, I would say more so.
No, but I want to hold the corpses.
I want to say just holding the hand of one of them, each of them.
These are my
anyways,
friends
so-
now. You can't take them.
So I
You're
imagine.
my friends now. We're gonna have soft tacos
We're having
later.
shop tacos later.
So, he grabs them, 4 of the clerics, 2 on each of the corpses. I imagine Linnea's a lot heavier because no, you were in full plate too. Yeah, they're both pretty dang heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking full plate, but they were both in full plate. So they carry them in there. I imagine Maldrick just kind of follows in, and they set the corpses down. Maldrick, I guess, sits next to them or on them or whatever.
I'll sit next to them and then hold them as now they are.
That's fair, because as a large cyclops, you're kind of heavy. But, yeah.
Yep.
Splat.
Ooh, I will take all of their gear off them.
That's a thing.
But
Contingencies on contingencies.
Okay, Squee.
Come back, it's fine.
Because you're just gonna be basic ass bitch boy at that point.
Because you don't have that much money.
Mm-hmm.
Punk asses. Oh yeah, man. When I was Squee, I looked at my backup and I was like, he's not like if we had a total party kill towards like in the last book, I can't play Squee again. There's not enough backup gear for me to play Squee again.
Yeah.
He's still way too nerfed. But it was peace of mind that he was not dead.
And he would be able to rebuild. It would just take time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk in there, because I don't think that spell has a save. Oh no, okay, yeah, you get a will save.
For
Walking in Forbiddance, that different.
the
alignment.
true neutrals aren't affected.
It's based off the alignment. Based off where it's.
I thought
Oh,
specifically had a
because it's
stipulation that
lawful chaotic.
yeah, it's opposites.
Yeah.
If it's for a lawful evil, then chaotic and or good have to roll saves or take damage.
So I met so yeah.
So the neutrals, and then is it lawful evil?
It's lawful evil.
So then no.
So I got a 39, so I know not to go in there.
You know it would hurt, but you'd be fine. It only hurts like the first time. So they carry the corpses in. I imagine Maldrick follows through.
Yeah, I don't think twice about it.
I was picturing you walk through a door and go, ow, but I guess it actually doesn't. That's funny.
this is gonna
Well,
I'm not doing this to be a good guy or a bad guy. I'm doing this because it's my job.
duh. Wait. That was a lot more lyrics than usual.
well, I guess actually neutral is different than lawful.
But it's exact opposite. It specifies in the spell. It's opposed, and law is opposed to chaos.
Magic's alignment differ with respect to either law, chaos,
And
or
no other
medieval.
spells in the entirety of Pathfinder affects neutral. It's up again. Everything I say is irrelevant if you, the ZM, say it hurts us.
I would say
I'll roll a
it's
save.
not actually consequential because
I'll just cast a cure spell.
yeah, but you do get hurt walking in.
Sure.
I assume by now I pop up to a normal person. Has it been 14 minutes, you think?
14 minutes? No,
Oh, okay.
We
it's
walked
been like
into
3
that room.
minutes.
Okay.
Wait, you were making that whole argument as a red cap.
Hey, I want them to be whole. You back off.
It's really funny because of the voice.
You gotta do a voice.
Just like,
So the 4 clerics walk in. He kind of like expecting Maldrick to walk out. The clerics walk out. Where is he? He sat next to the corpses, sir. Are you planning on staying in there?
Yup.
I guess we're having this conversation in there then.
Yup.
My apologies to you. He walks in.
May I get some healing before I cross into your forbiddance?
Are you two going to behave?
Probably not.
If the corpses are safe,
Nils
then
is
yes.
Nils was gonna just stroll in anyway.
Maldrick,
Just like,
are the corpses safe?
I mean, sure.
Yes.
So what kind of healing do I get before I go through forbiddance? And how much damage does forbiddance do to me?
12d6 safe for half.
Is that a fort or will? So how much healing do I get beforehand?
You'll get. They'll take a moment and poke you guys with a bit.
I rolled a 1, so I failed to save.
Oh, I'm not going in there. It sounds painful.
It's only the first time you walk in.
Meh.
I guess you can stand at the doorway.
Sure.
Does a 33 give me half damage?
For sure.
Okay.
So,
Oh, sorry. That was my CMB. I should be adding my will save. 34.
that's fine. Yes, you do get some healing. I don't think you guys are actually having a combat today, unless you guys do some silly. Who knows?
just
They'll poke you each with 3 cure moderates. So that's the 2d8 plus 7.
Okay.
You guys can roll those if you would like. So they'll go there. They'll have them pull up some chairs so people can sit down, at least if you want to. So at this point, with the other 2 still around, I imagine they either do or will find out to some extent the last thing we are trying, which is a ritual called the Mephisto Manifestation. I think that's what it's called.
say that 5 times fast.
No.
Mephisto manifestation, Mephisto manifestation, Mephisto manifestation, Mephisto manifestation, Mephisto manifestation, Mephisto manifestation.
Yeah, the Mephisto Manifestation. Yeah. It is the ritual that is being performed in the main room there, in the Infernal Nave. That my head priest is going back to continue. With
What would be the check to know a ritual before he tells us what the ritual is, just out of curiosity?
that is a thing that is undefined, so I would say you could give me a religion or planes check.
So plus 21, so only 29, I probably don't know.
You would find that peculiar because it seems like something that is more related to Mephistopheles than is Asmodeus directly.
Okay.
But that would be all you really know about it. They'll go on to say that basically once in a couple of days that is completed, the Silver Ravens would no longer be an issue. Unfortunately, we have to wait for that to finish.
So all we really have to do is guard what's going on down there. And
That
our
would
job is
be
complete.
the easiest way.
Huh.
If we could manage to find the other 2 before they could regroup enough or make their move, that would basically guarantee it. but as long as the head priest and not too many of the other clerics and servants involved in it perish, it will happen.
Then we get your dragon back in its spot, and we hang out.
Yes, I would have to find where she ran off to, which is not ideal.
But at least she could run.
That she can. Trying to remember where it says she actually runs to. It's kind of vague, but yeah. So at this point, unless you have some other option, I will try to scry on them to see if I can get some clue as to their whereabouts. I doubt they went back to their headquarters initially, as that would be too obvious. The goblin seems to be more clever than that.
Though I would like to mention it is not the goblin who teleported. How clever is the sorcerer?
Clever enough to get them there. Scrying does take some time before it is enacted, so they would have time to hide either way.
Do you happen to know where their headquarters is?
Yes.
Oh.
We actually assaulted it a little while back. They held that off.
Oh, that was a part in Hell's Rebels.
Oh yeah.
Hiding
That
a
was when
rogue
they
in the
first
troop.
fought a troop.
Oh,
And there was a
have a
dual
character-
Rogue
wielding
troop.
If we didn't have a
rogue.
character that just cracked out their perception check, we all would have been dead.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
I've heard you guys talk about the rogue hiding in the troop.
Yeah.
Fucking
it's
Dual
dumb.
wielding rogues. Like, you guys are rude. The worst part is they literally spelled out that was an attack. It's like, oh, you guys are dicks. Troop engulfs you. Well, you're automatically surrounded. Rogue.
It's fucking dumb.
It was pretty.
Well,
Yeah.
especially since like that's the point where the rogue's damage output can be so maximized that it's just like you have to make
fun killing a
it.
character.
You have to make it hard
Yeah,
for the
like-
NPC rogue to get his maximized damage, or too often. Like make it so every once in a while it can happen, so it's a threat.
Yeah.
But if you make it so the rogue gets the auto sneak attacks,
Yeah, 'cause
3
this is how
times
we found
around.
him. Our sorcerer went from standing to being dead.
Yep. The sorcerer was just
Real
gone.
fast.
And I rolled high enough on my perception to not only notice this in the midst of the chaos, but also see the one who did it slip back into the troop. So I was at least able to go over and cast Breath of Life, saving our sorcerer, because otherwise he would have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
It's a prime example of why leadership is frowned upon in most actual games. Because
No,
leadership
that's
allows you to acquire a troop. Because usually troops are made up of one-hit die creatures, which you can get an awful lot of with leadership.
It's a rogue roast thing when we put that together.
Yeah. And ninja is charisma. Dex charisma.
Oh, are they charisma?
For their key.
Yeah.
They don't actually need int. You can just have it as a straight 10 and just get 8 skills and then
Yeah.
use charisma for your key. So yeah. Yeah. Good thing.
So technically, a troop by definition is like 24 minimum to like 40-ish. Which you technically hit that at a leadership score of 16. And since it's level plus charisma plus modifiers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We'll say 10th
The
level.
Hell's Rebels, I'm pretty sure, had a +4 if you go through all the tables to their leadership scores. Because the base
Oh,
alone is
yeah.
+2.
That's a good point.
Having reputation's a
Great renown,
+1.
Yeah. So great renown is 2, fairness and generosity, special power.
Was 1, 2, 3, 4?
Well, great renown, fairness, and special powers.
Yeah. There's a
stronghold
base.
is a +2.
So that's a +6 already.
Yeah.
Before you add in level and
I know you
charisma.
may not get the special powers one, but that's still a +5.
Yeah, if you have
Plus
special
level
powers.
plus charisma.
Yeah. So you're at like a
base it in the second book.
you're at like 9-ish for a charisma secondary, having like an 18 charisma. You're at a +9.
To be fair,
Before
I'm pretty
your level.
sure by the end of the campaign we would have made it for special powers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
we had
fair.
mythic.
We had mythic.
But
It's not at like 10th
You
level.
can get leadership, I think, at 5th level.
5th or 7th. I'm
But
looking
if you're
it.
at
It is
7th, so it's when you get leadership, you have a 16.
Yeah,
7
you were
level.
7th level in the second book, and you had a base.
Yep, and you get yep
And at that point, you were enough to have
a
great
4
renown,
charisma and a 5
and as long as you
miscellaneous.
stayed good, which you guys were,
Yep.
fairness and generosity makes sense.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're fighting to save
Yep.
the city, so
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Dumb stuff.
5, 7 is
Oh,
12. Do you
leadership.
have a 4 charisma modifier? Yeah, you probably. You could.
Yeah, you could easily.
Yeah, frick.
Because you'd just be a halfling with Dex Charisma. You'd point bot like a 14. And then you have a +2 headband.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, 18. On every bad guy forever.
Leadership is cool, but also be real silly.
Like, you imagine like an angry mob, or just like a group of peasants just kind of wandering around with like random bits. And then they kind of walk
I
past.
think it's a CR5 creature.
They walk past a guard. They can like just go around him. And then he comes to the other side dead. And his kidneys have been eviscerated.
Not the kidney. Oh, leadership, you're so silly. So, you mentioned about the ritual, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Yes, that was the last thing. Yes, I do know where their base is. Was the last thing I was asked? Yeah. We assaulted it a few months. Yeah, it was probably about a month ago in game. About a month ago when the rebellion really kicked off after the failed masquerade. They halted it surprisingly well, to say the least. But yes, we do know where it is.
So is this ritual that you're speaking of your ultimate goal, or is it something to help you with that?
This is a last resort so that we do not fully lose the city.
But this is not what you're striving for.
I imagine you know what I'm striving for, and it's a lot longer of a process than a simple ritual. That would take about a week.
I also imagine you'd be more heavily involved in such a ritual,
Yes.
and you wouldn't have set basically just your head cleric to go and do that ritual.
No, that ritual I personally partook in myself.
Mhm.
Partook in myself.
Cool.
And it has left its mark. So at this point, unless there's something else that needs to be covered, I think we are at an understanding with each other.
Yes.
Well, then if you do not mind, I will step into my study to start the scrying.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Thank you. He's gonna watch you over here, 'cause that's his study. I don't know what was in E40. There was some creature in there.
Looks like I get to meditate for an unknown amount of hours.
So scrying does take an hour to cast.
And I will poop back to Cassandra.
Oh, it was an animated dream. Oh.
An animated dream? No.
Let's try to remember what was in there. You guys fought an animated dream in Hell's Rebels.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah.
Wonder where else we fought them.
In the meantime, Nils is like, sandwich.
Sure.
So at this point, you
Also
guys
then-
can basically be healed all the way.
Hands are full.
He will have clerics help and heal you guys.
Hey,
Um,
he's like, I can feed
I'm
myself.
going to go
Thank
pee
you very
real
much.
quick.
He's just like, but Nils is like, go deep.
Oh.
They,
Except for he's a cyclops with very bad depth perception, so it like smacks him in the face or something.
I'm only pretend a cyclops.
But you actually polymorph into the creature, right? So you would unfortunately come under the ramifications of its bad depth
It's-
perception.
Not included, because 90% of a creature is not included.
it's loosey goosey apparently.
It's loosey goosey guy.
Yeah. Polymorph is very like, you got some buffs at the end?
Well,
'Cause-
because as you've said, they don't want it to turn into the ridiculousness that was.
Yeah, I just feel there
Third
should be in
edition.
between. Because there's a lot of cool toolboxy stuff that you cannot break, but it would be really nice to have. Because a lot of cool creatures have like these just like kind of quirky abilities. Like, hey, that one time having that would have been cool. There are plenty of creature abilities you shouldn't be able to have, which is why it's usually frowned upon to play monsters, because you open the door for people that have those powers.
Which powers in specific are you talking about?
I'm gonna have to go through bestiaries to find them. They're just arm monsters, so I'm like, no. Like, you just don't trust players with at will.
Do you
Greater
play
teleport.
I will just about anything. Really.
Natural
At will, yeah.
invisibility.
Yeah, that's.
Unpurgeable invisibility. That's just not.
Yeah, it's not a thing that.
Do you
people
ever
should have.
through polymorph get like swallow whole or something as an ability you can have?
I don't think so.
Okay. Whereas it is easy to get around swallow whole, that does seem like a good ability to have.
Yeah, it'd be a nice ability, but
Mostly
you also
what
wouldn't
you
have
end
fast
up being able to
roll, yeah.
attain is like senses.
Yeah.
And things like that. So I doubt swallow hole's one of those things you would get.
Well, you eventually get like rake, pounce, and a lot of other things like that. So
That are cute, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce is pretty cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, B-Shade just makes me sad. But the list is so small. Yeah, B-Shaped 4, which is a 6th level spell. You have the movement speeds, dark vision, low light vision, sense, tremor sense.
It's actually pretty good.
If there is a magical beast or animal that happens to have a breath weapon, which I don't know off the top of my head,
Picture Derpy Cat.
that's still a magical beast that has breath weapon, but you can get that. You can get Constrict, Ferocity, Grab Jet, Poison, Pounce, Rake, Rend, Roar, Spikes, Trample, Trip, and Web. All of the special abilities there are listed. They're kind of a meh DCs because they're half level plus not your casting stat. Plus your tertiary stat at best. But yeah, that's the entirety of B-Shape, which is your normal wild shape. Elemental form does not have any abilities.
No.
Like, you get resistance.
No, you get that, like, vortex and stuff.
You get
Wizard.
different things, I'm pretty sure.
I know you get, like,
they're
Earth
basically
Glide,
just
which is cool.
buff spells.
Yeah, they're Earth Glide, they're Air Mastery, and stuff
And you get
like that.
resistance, but you don't get immunity, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I think the highest tier
I think
of
the
elemental shape gives it to you, but I don't think you get the highest tier of elemental
No, I
shape.
think you only get elemental shape too.
Yeah, I think
Elemental
3 gives
body.
you immunity, but I don't think you get 3 through wild shape.
alright, so
Out of curiosity, everyone roll perception.
that thing that I have an amount of no amount of investment in.
17.
12.
I only have 13 plus a number,
Perception.
so 36.
Okay. Look,
Oh, sorry, 38.
we're in Kintargo. I want a higher number.
Sorry, you're dead. In fact, he's on the floor. He's holding his hand.
27.
So Maldrick would see this little secret door that he can't stay next to.
Oh.
He was like, oh. That's all.
Just wanted to see if we see the secret doors.
Yeah, in case because you guys I know don't know about it, so I was pointing it out.
Fair.
Is that so?
Did Luna see the secret doors?
No, she just pushed everything off the edge. So, I guess you guys bother doing anything in the hour of him scrying. You're just waiting.
I'm just waiting.
Just babysitting.
Yay! So scrying takes an hour to cast, and then it's a minute per cast level of actually watching. So he'll come back, hour and 20 minutes ish later. Walks out. So, I did find them. It did not help us at all. They appear to be just somewhere in the sewers, which is very vague
Shitty.
and non-discreet.
Well, that stinks.
Yes.
Very squee-like.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Jason was not as fond of it.
I was
but
literally gonna say that I'm sure if the sorcerer isn't happy at all,
he was dealing with the circumstances.
just constant prestidigitation, presto changeo.
But also, it wouldn't take very long.
Well, then you get shitty again.
No, it
Well, if
removes
he's
the
void
dirt.
around
Yeah,
it.
it removes it, and you pretty much like stay that way for
It's-
an hour.
No, clean and dirty is permanent.
Oh,
Is dirty permanent?
It mentions like all the things are an hour, and then that's like clean or dirty is permanent.
Yeah, so I know if you clean things, it doesn't become dirty again in an hour. That'd be obnoxious.
So he can just kind of cast it like for a minute, cast it every round, and like the immediate area is pristinely clean because
He probably would
magic.
have done that because he's hanging out for a bit. So at that point, it looks like they are just waiting, hiding before they regroup. So at this point, I will try again later, but it seems like we might be playing a little bit of the waiting game potentially.
While we're doing that, how many men do you have at your disposal to storm their base again and defeat what remnants they have there before they have a chance to regroup?
So, of the creatures and entities in this temple, while all of them are my allies, they do not all serve me. As for the clerics, there are, I want to say like 15. There's a few vampires.
Where is their hideout?
The Lucky Bones.
Yeah, I'm gonna need directions. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, we would not be able to all march out. It would cause too much problems. But
Okay.
I can tell you where it is.
I'm gonna very nonchalantly walk over to the secret door and open it, and then put the bodies there and close the door.
You're actually better off leaving them in here.
Oh, is the Forbiddance only this room?
It's these 3 rooms.
Oh, then we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Let's go stop our enemy from regrouping and.
I mean, random question. Do you happen to have any extra dimensional spaces that we could fit them in?
Ooh,
I don't imagine you
personally
did, but on the
do
small
not.
chance that you do.
you happen to have a portable hole lying around?
I do not.
Okay, it was just a thought.
That would have been really convenient.
Because the Forbiddance is nice, but if they come in, face the Forbiddance, and see 2 dead bodies on the floor, they found them.
Let's
If they
just-
walk in and they
let's-
don't see bodies on the floor,
Put a portable
It didn't
hole
find
and
them.
Fold it up and then put in the desk drawer. And then close the desk drawer. And then lock the desk drawer.
We just get some
and
blankets.
that's how you store bodies in your desk drawer.
We just get some blankets and we lay them over mostly the bodies, like hands laying out and stuff like that. They'll never see that
No.
one.
I mean,
No, better yet, we put up wallpaper, right?
Okay.
And behind the
gosh,
wallpaper is
yeah.
the portable hole.
We get 2 lampshades. We sit them up in the corner and we put lampshades
I like the
on
idea
there.
like somebody just going to like lean up against the wall.
We put them in a portable hole and then toss a bag of holding in it.
No.
No.
Damn.
Well, that'd be more respectful than other ideas I've heard today.
So how about this? We shoot him out of a cannon.
Into the sun.
Then Cassandra pulls out her portable hole and goes, "Oh, I brought the cannon."
Yay.
You're like, "Wait, can we put the bodies in there?" Oh,
Well, no, it's cannon. I didn't bring a portable hole.
I just brought a pocket cannon.
Yeah.
Sha.
So yeah, let's just go rampage through the Lucky Bones.
So what
So-
neighborhood are we dressing up as King of the Hill?
So where is
Just
Lucky
drinking
Bones?
beer
It is
tomorrow?
07.
It's like, yo, I want to buy some cannons.
Oh, it's way the fuck over here.
It is literally in the corner.
So we're gonna go from here, and we're gonna go there, and we're gonna kill everybody inside.
So before you do that, I will
That
I will
does seem rather overkill.
No, that sounds like our mission.
Well, I mean, only if we kill
I
civilians.
thought the mission was to make sure he becomes a genius Loki. However,
It was
way
to
that was.
let him do
Yeah.
his thing, which means that
It
we have an
sounds like
enemy.
the easiest and most efficient way to do that is just to protect that.
I agree.
We have no idea what the rest of the resources the Silver Ravens has is,
I
whether or not
have
they
an
could
idea.
come back.
I do
Why
have
don't
a
we
good
ask the guy
idea
who might
about
have an idea?
what their resources are.
Because he's brought them up before, and they have other allies, and he's been very ambiguous up to this point.
I feel like he's answered all of our questions pretty well.
No, I'm okay. Moving on. Hey, Brazali, is it worth it going there?
So I would say that while they are the strongest 4 in their rebellion, they are definitely not the only ones who would put up a decent fight. Among them, there might be 8 or so others who individually would be powerful enough to be a challenge, and dozens of others who you would have to deal with. They do know that we know where their fort is, so I imagine the defenses have improved since it was kind of just a locked door the first time, since they didn't think we knew where it was.
I mean, that is if they haven't moved. Have you been scrying on them actively?
No.
They might not even be there. I wouldn't be there.
The point is it worth it to take out the other ones, or is these two worth it? Is this just dealing with them enough?
I would say these two would be enough if we could get them. I would say that potentially could be a good way to lure them out.
And how many days do you need to finish the ritual?
At least 3 to 7. 3 to 7.
So we don't have our link with the Mocha, just the 4 of us.
Telepathic? Yeah.
One of us might want to tell Amoka that we're going to be staying for a couple more days.
If Amoka cares, he'll come ask.
He hasn't cared in the past.
We haven't really spent too much time in our missions in the past, have we?
It
We've
was
spent a couple of days.
Yeah, we've
Okay.
several days before.
Like with the Cyclops, that was 2 weeks easily with the
okay.
tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and our max time here, because I think this is day 3 or 4.
3?
I think it's day 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
So that would max us out at 2 weeks, the worst possible.
Yeah. And he wasn't pushing you guys at that either.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he doesn't feel.
It was like every
Take-
couple of days.
Take as much time as is necessary.
He's like, we have time. It was more like, I'd say at that point, it was like after a couple of days, he's like, hey, what's going on? And you guys like, we're doing this thing. He's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it.
Yeah, if he's worried, he'll come ask us. Okay, then it's not really worth it to go after the Silver Raven, so then we just sit in this room for a week.
Or wait for them to make a move, which I'm sure will take less time than that.
Mm-hmm.
Funny
That's
enough, I was
fine.
actually almost uploaded the map of it to Roll20. It's like, dang it, I didn't do that. I'm actually going to need it.
Alternate idea. If they haven't come back for the bodies in the next day or so, we could always have some sort of distraction by doing some sort of public display of these two. Demoralize those who might have found them as a beacon of hope.
I like the way
and
you think
anger
now.
the other Silver Ravens. If this only will take time, having a distraction like that sounds wonderful. And especially if they do manage to get the bodies back at that point, they'll think that they've gotten a success. Well, in the meantime, they've spent a number of days, and without the dragon here, which seemed to be their target, which is why they came here in the first place,
She was creating a buck.
I don't feel like they have any particular reason to check out this temple.
So, theoretically,
They are after me.
the
They will come back.
these
You
two
don't have
bodies
to
come
be
back
here.
to life. Does your ritual stop all of them? Like
Let's
if these
just
two came
say
back to life.
what the ritual summons will fix everything.
It's a summoning
Cool.
ritual.
Yes. It is asking...
So then, yeah.
And what are you
Go for it.
getting?
It is asking
Just sitting here, I think, would be
Mephistopheles
asking too little of us.
for
I agree.
8.
Yeah.
However, setting up this
And I
distraction the next
believe
day or so,
once
Yeah. Give
If
him a
it
little
works,
time, then
yeah,
set it
I
up.
will have some of Mephistopheles' most powerful minions aid us.
If or when?
Hopefully when. Unless something stops it.
So yeah, I'm
If
all
you
for
guys
waiting for like a day
are
or so.
coming to... Let me put it this way. I would never have been defeated if this ritual happened. I'm guessing originally it did not finish.
We do not have exact details.
We
of
never heard of any kind of
how far your plans
minions
went.
of Mephistopheles defeating the Silver Ravens.
I have to assume you died this day.
It is possible.
24 planes or 27 religion. Would I have a guess at what some of Mephistopheles' greatest minions would be?
Devils. There could be some powerful devils, probably.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll give them like a day and a half
So you're going to wait for a little bit to see what happens?
and see if they come out for them, and if not, we'll bait them out.
Okay. Let me look at something real quick. Because I do have determined what their course of actions would be. And then based off how you guys respond, determine what action is. So, now that I know that...
To lure targets like these, we're gonna need some masturbate.
Spencer's like, I know what I said. Oh, God. gosh, that's funny. Here.
This Facebook article's title is very poorly thought out. Inside America's Ass. How that Captain America joke happened.
So, I'm curious, where exactly are you guys during the next, let's say, 2 days?
In the Forbidden Room,
Yeah,
So
with
at least-
the bodies.
just sitting.
Do you guys basically just hang out in that
Yep.
room for the most part?
Could you bring us some food and snacks?
So I know that I
could
could leave the room and come in and not get hurt.
I want to say it's each time you step in.
Maybe a bucket, please.
Because you definitely can ask and you definitely can be told, or you have spellcraft, so that would work either way.
I already rolled like a 17 on the die for the spellcraft.
It does another spell. Okay. Cancel. Addition. Yeah, for entering.
And I imagine I wouldn't leave unless I really need to.
You're gonna poop in front of us.
Thank you, Austin, for pointing that out.
You're welcome.
That might cause me to need to leave. I gotta poop. It's worth 12d6 damage. Excuse me.
Say for half your
Yeah.
chance. Yeah. So. Yeah, Barzai will be in that area, kind of lingering around. You'll realize he does spend a good amount of time in his quarters and his study, but does leave every once in a while. At one point, over the next day, he will end up getting a report saying that there was some fussing that happened with some of the supplies for the ritual. So it is still doable, but it might take a few extra days. She is rather irritated at. But,
For two little birds to cause you this much trouble. You see what you failed.
oh, they've caused a lot more trouble than I think you understand.
I don't care. We set one ambush and half the numbers diminished.
Does it bug anyone else that this map has C, then G,
It's
J?
because of the district they're in. So, like, that's Temple District, River, something like that. Yeah, Castle District.
I think it's the Gardens District.
Gardens District, I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's based off of what district
It's
they're
district location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
in. Yeah.
Well, damn.
Well, lamb.
More or less.
So his supplies were fussed with.
Yep. So they're still doable, but it'll just take maybe a few more days.
And where were the supplies?
Poorly guarded.
Not in the temple, clearly.
They were in the temple.
Oh. And not in the Forbidden
It's one of those weird things where it talks about in the book how you can do things that happened, and it's very vague about it. It's kind of annoying.
There are miscellaneous ingredients for this ritual that are somehow not kept in the room of no teleporting in and out.
And they can be sabotaged. You guys just dealt with it right away, so you didn't even need to worry about that. But yeah,
That's silly.
a little bit.
You think they would have been like, yeah, we know they're coming back. Hey, you know what would suck? If they stole half the ingredients for this ritual. You know where you should put that? In the room with high-level adventurers you can't teleport in and out.
Austin, stop making sense of the pre-made adventure path.
No.
Stop pointing out all the things that are illogical.
No.
Yeah, that's true. That's not going to stop happening.
These adventure paths are silly.
Does
They-
Maldrick
they are
state
at
that this would be a
times.
good place to put supplies?
Yes.
They are definitely moved and
Yeah.
relocated after that, yes.
In this room that's already being guarded 24/7 would be a good place for anything essential to the thing that we're waiting to happen.
Indeed.
trying to think, based off of what they do, because I had their plans and actions spelled out and tried to, based off of that, try to determine what it is they would do.
So we give them what, like 36 hours? Just a little bit over a day. Or I guess
Yeah.
maybe right after the supplies are done, we know they're active again.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
can
it's
go
about
ahead.
a day later that
Okay.
you found
Yeah,
like
that
the
seems like as good a
I'll say
time as
dawn
any
of the
to send
second
it out.
day he gets that
Okay.
news. I'm trying to quickly figure out if they would have done anything before then or not.
Okay. I think we have Brazalia get like his most charismatic Asmodean fanatic to just do the whole like the end is nigh preaching, just like really obnoxious in your face, and then point out the folly of the Silver Ravens and how.
Some of us should probably go to in case
Yes.
they manage to scrape the bodies from the clutches of whatever fine gentleman they happen to send.
But I feel like someone who's a very like strong advocate of his church would be a very good shit talker.
Is there any dimensional locking we can put on the bodies themselves?
Dimensional locks on a location.
We could just do it on the
Dimensional
location.
anchor is a thing, which is what I think he means.
Yeah. we
Well, he
can
was
do
talking
that.
about can you make an object
Is there-
unteleported table?
Is there any
I don't think so.
anti-dimensional travel
Yeah,
that we
it's
can do?
dimensional
On?
anchor.
Or-
something can't.
I could just be holding both the bodies as a display.
That works too.
Instead of putting them up somewhere while he's preaching, I could literally just be holding them. I'm tall enough to act as a display case.
I'm not gonna lie,
And
we
they
were
can't
surprised if
stand
you
up
really
right.
like hung them up and just let them sit there.
I mean,
Trying to think who besides just saying the head priest, if someone else would.
we just need
do
any
that.
cleric that happens to be. Do Bob Jeremy Jones man. You know, he's really charismatic. He's a really friendly guy for being a worshiper of Satan.
I was trying to think if there was someone
Yeah,
cooler than
Bob
that.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Jones man.
No, you have an 8 Chris.
Yeah,
We're
we met
definitely
him,
not doing it. Who crap are you? Oh, that's that thing. Never mind.
Because I don't think any of us are suited towards preaching at this point.
No.
Those charisma scores are awfully low.
Also,
You
it would
don't
have very
say.
even if any of us were charismatic, it would have very little impact coming from for people that aren't from here.
Well, you could dress up as a general cleric-y boy.
General cleric?
Put on a little disguise-a-rooney.
I suppose.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah. But we need the everyone important for the big thing.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to the bathroom.
Funny enough, the Cyclops
all
follower
do
of Zonkathon is the most charismatic person besides.
Bring her.
Yeah, I think I'll just say it's her. It'll be more of like the end is nigh. You're
Out of curiosity, I would have asked Brazelli pretty early in, actually. Is there a library in this temple?
yes.
Great. I will spend most of my time waiting in the library, reading.
That's fair. Let's see, I want to say the library was E6.
Cool.
Oh, that doesn't help you. Nope, that didn't help.
Me.
Yeah, E6.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be looking for anything in particular either. It's really just a way to spend time.
Ah, that's fair.
So yeah, I'd just be in there most
Actually,
of the
I
time.
think there's a devil, a contract devil in that room. Funny enough.
Oh.
That I specifically remember Squee having a tussle with.
Like my favorite.
Yeah,
kind
contract
of
devil. Yeah.
Yay. I do have a contract.
So they would not do anything drastic, at least before you guys would do this. So we will go to that. So I want to think of how. So Brazzali would suggest basically just making using magic to help amplify things, but basically just making a large announcement from the edge of the balcony instead of actually traversing into the city yet. Unless one of you suggests something different.
We basically just say, like, if you were to make an important proclamation for the city, where would you go to make it so that people would know about it?
Well, before, when he had the city kind of under his control, that was a lot easier. He's public enemy number one, and everyone is willing to stand up against him at this point. The fact that the temple is the only safe ground they have at this point.
I see.
But yeah, so he'll have a fun little wizard friend come over to help make things louder.
Hooray! Oh, little wizard friend.
Just another random ally he has in the temple.
Gypsy wizard woman?
Yeah, a harrower actually, which is a
Nice.
prestige class.
Oh, it's a prestige class. What's the harrower do?
It's a full caster that gives you some stuff with dex. You can actually give little blessings. There's a few other abilities.
That's dope.
Yeah. It was one of those prestige classes. Like, yeah, it's cute. Like most of the prestige classes.
Nifty, yeah.
But yeah, it's a wizard chick. I almost said wizard boy, but she's a female. That was the person in the big fight who came out that side door that Squee charged and decked.
Oh.
And then Squee was like, "Where's everyone else? I'm gone."
Very
Well, that's
nice.
funny. So it's no one that you guys like actually really got to see.
Squee got to see her, and then she got to meet Squee's daggers.
But Squee probably took her out before she could
Oh,
really
yeah.
do much.
She walked out and like cast a fireball, and then Squee said, "You're next," and then charged.
Yep. And took her out real freaking quick.
Yeah, believe it or not, she didn't last very long going to mono versus a crazy little goblin
A
rogue.
two-handed murder hobo rogue.
Yes.
Yeah, a tiny bit.
I'm the best at what I do. What I do is not very nice.
Correct.
And what I do is not the best.
Just gonna wait a moment for Austin to come back to see if he had any other input or so before we do it. So you guys are fully healed. Spells are reset. This is at least the next day at this point.
Perfect.
I will get back on to marking my spells.
Cause that's a thing. Dawn of the second day. Dun dun.
False life's greater. Ooh. 17 plus 13 is 30 more hit points.
Okay. So, Rosali was suggesting to just do it from the balcony and just using wizard friend magic to help amplify it to get everyone's attention that he could.
It's a wizard that Squee decked very, very, very quickly initially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She popped out, cast like a fireball or something, and then Squee said, "You're next," and charged her.
Did her name say Zelda?
Zella.
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 There's literally a spell that's like amplify voice, isn't there?
Yeah, something like that. I figured she would use because she's wizard and has stuff.
Pretty wizard.
So from there, I guess Maldrick would probably hold both the bodies, probably from like the top of the back in some way, as they basically taunt the rest of the city and kind of calling the other two out. And basically just saying, "Ha ha ha, we have you.
Come back or I shall taunt you father."
Oh, I shall taunt you a second timer. They actually does draw in a decent crowd who do end up doing some booing and blah 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 and
I know, they suck,
yelling and
right?
stuff.
Damn, they died.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's totally what they're yelling at.
Tell your opinions of these ravens.
Yes, because that's totally what it is. They are taunting. They're not throwing stuff at
One of them was only a good character because it's
Grizzly.
hard to mess up a paladin.
If only I turned into a giant, not a cyclops. Someone throws a rock at me and I catch it with rock catching. And then I throw it back, rock throw.
I mean, maybe it would be a rock yay big, but that's still hella
Yeah,
funny.
that's 1 damage plus my strength modifier.
It's still hella funny.
Everyone goes, Damien was a pretty well built character though. And you can mess up clerics.
It's actually kind of hard to mess up too, to be fair. Damien, I'd say, was built pretty well. Yeah. I guess some people would argue
He had
should.
no idea what spells to prepare until very late into the campaign, though.
I mean, I guess
So
there's
he was
that.
basically just a healing battery the entire campaign.
I guess some people would argue you should have had more strength, but beyond that, whatever. Yeah, like a 14 strength. It's like, hey, I mean, it's a cleric, yeah, that's fine.
That's higher than my Oracle strength was.
It's not saying much. So that happens. I guess the question is, what do you do with the bodies afterwards? They make a nice scene out of it, 10, 15 minutes, blah, blah, blah.
Maldrick is
Oh,
doing it just
I
like
think it goes
grave
on for like an
stabs.
hour.
Oh, you just want to just keep going?
Oh,
You just
big,
keep
yeah.
standing there? Oh, okay. If that is the
And mind
plan.
you, they're
Big thing
they're,
of it.
they're no gear, so it's just their bloody, ragged clothing from whatever wounds they sustained during the fight.
Quite a bit.
they've been sitting for like, what is it, 2 days at this point?
I'd say Gentle Repose would have been cast on.
No.
them. No.
Fuck no.
Oh.
Nope.
Fuck no.
I don't see any reason to.
I mean, I'm gonna just like morally oppose that.
So
but also logistically, this is more impactful.
and also, like, I imagine above ground, indoors for a couple of days, not much is going to have changed
Not
anyway.
2 days,
It's going to
no.
smell awful. But
But I want them
it's
to
not
look
gonna
like
be,
dead corpses.
Yeah, it's
Because
not-
gentle repose will make it look like they'll have.
It'll stay where it was.
It brings it back to like a normal.
I think it preserves it as it is. So if you cast it when it dies,
Well,
yeah,
then let's look at the spell.
fair enough. But yeah, they would not look. They would look a lot worse. That is true.
Yeah, we're not.
Can we presto change out just the smell then?
Yes, you can change the smell.
It's called prestidigitation.
I'm just gonna go with presto change out from now on.
Prestidigitation.
I'm not gonna get that word.
Oh, what is the? How long can you not
Prestidigitation.
What?
raise dead's a day per caster level?
Yeah.
As a 5th level, so that's 9 days.
Minimum, yeah.
So we're 100% not casting gentle repose, which prolongs how many days?
Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
Effectively extends the time limit on raising the creature from the dead. See raise dead. Days spent under the influence of this spell do not count against the time limit.
Okay, then never mind. I wouldn't have suggested that if I knew that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you have to like walk back to town from a dungeon, you don't have teleportation. You're just like, cool, gentle repose. You're like, that's 9
Actually,
days, and
that's
then
pretty
we'll have
convenient
9
to
more
know about,
days, and you just keep casting it.
Yeah, 'cause it's a day per level, so you don't have to do it every day.
Yeah, you just kind of just keep doing it until you need to.
Nice. Well, you guys make a fun festivity out of it. A lot of people do not like it a lot.
I'm thinking kind of Game of Thrones-y, but instead of just putting the head on a spike, it's like, we're just playing their whole body.
But instead of putting them on a spike, you're holding them.
Yes, it's about sending a message.
Yeah.
Malfric's using them just like action figures.
Oh, he's got.
We thought we were good enough. It turns out we suck. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Except for Cyclops, Malfric goes, "Oh,
I'm very careful.
well, I guess this ends the Galir Cassandra debate.
Kiss. Oops.
Now nobody gets their heads."
No heads to have. This would be a fun little moment for something.
And I do, during this time, have See Invisibility prepared. So the first thing that seems sus to me, I immediately cast See Invisibility.
Would you call it sus when someone throws a rock or a tomato at you guys?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's just people being little bitches. That's,
Turns out the rock is thrown by Squee. Hits your flat-footed for 1 damage. Plus sneak attack.
well, it's only if he's closer than 30 feet.
Uh-huh.
The balcony's only 20 feet off the ground.
Was it really?
I mean, it's only on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's probably not even. No, I think it is. I think it
That'd
says
be like
20
15.
feet. Yeah.
15 or 20 feet, yeah.
But I think it says the secret passage. Where did my mouse go? Yeah, I think it says this is 20 feet off the floor. So.
Mm.
No, I think like here and go. Pew!
I mean, what? This first floor here is about 10 feet at some points.
Yeah, so like the balcony in the old house. Right out the back door.
Oh.
Yeah.
That looks over the backyard, but it's not super high up.
Well, I guess I don't get to see invisibility.
Is
Well,
it Vegas?
It should be on your spell list.
Not
Second
necessarily.
level.
He's not a wizard.
Yeah.
Let's
See,
see.
He doesn't have to have it.
Alchemist,
Is-
Bard, Blood Rager, Inquisitor, Mesmerist, Occultist, Psychic, Sorcerer, Wizard, Spiritualist, Summoner.
No Vegas.
Weird.
It's not a druid spell either.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
Druid might have invisibility
Sorry, I wasn't
purge.
paying attention. I would have told you.
Oh, yeah, if cleric has it, then I probably have it.
Yeah, invisibility purge is for divine.
Yeah, no, I needed a
Nope,
scroll
just
to
cleric
get
and
that on
wizard.
myself.
Never mind.
There you go.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, what?
I needed a scroll to get that on myself.
He just spent permanency. Yeah.
I just spent money.
I
and made it
guess the
permanent.
only invisible things that druids, like in the whole fluff of what druids deal with, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because
All those
the
things
fae that are invisible don't just cast invisibility, they're usually just
naturally invisible.
invisible.
Like will-o-wisps.
Yeah.
Will-o-wisp for a fae?
No.
No, I think the magic beast,
But
but walkers and light are fae, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Margaret's
I
and
can
Light are
see
dumb.
Willis just being things Druids encounter. So
That was
Margaret's and Light are dumb. I don't like them.
So, does anything happen during our hour-long spectacle?
yes.
Witness me.
I mean, not quite, but close.
Does the dragon come back?
Will-o-wisp are aberrations.
Hmm.
Also, they're way high CR.
I think like 9.
They're 6.
Hmm.
Not quite 9, but like, it's this big.
Suppose hard to hit.
Right, aren't they tiny? Oh no, they are small. So they're like this big.
Mm.
But they're floating skulls.
Mm-hmm. That might help if I'm going to do a thing.
That have natural invisibility and immunity to magic.
That's the ghost part.
Mind you, they're CR6. You fight a lot of them in Kingmaker.
Yes. They just have like lightning bolt at will.
Yeah. Right.
Gross.
They are immune to all magic except magic missile and maze.
Wow.
Yep.
They're kind of dicks.
They sound
There's an island you go to where there's just a bunch of those just along the path.
And they're all dimmed until they decide to surprise or attack you. So you walk along and just suddenly like bing bing bing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it sucks. Communal resist energy lightning. This is dumb.
They have their only attack is a plus 16 touch attack for 2d8 electricity.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, yeah.
But then again, they're invisible.
right.
Flat-footed touch attack, take 2d8. Okay, let's just keep doing this forever. And then in one of the maps, there's a will-o-wisp who is like also a 12th level caster.
Yeah.
That's balls.
Yeah, you'll have 4 or 5 when you meet him.
We talking about the well?
No, I'm talking about the old sycamore.
Oh, that thing.
You see
yeah,
the
that
camp?
thing's
He's a
gross.
will-o-wisp.
That thing, yeah.
It's like a CR, or yeah, it's a DC like
CR
40.
15 or something.
I think it's like a
stupid.
DC 40 check to get everything on him. I think he's either it's high 30s or a 40.
You know, something stupid. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you sleep in a place. It's like
You
"Yeah,
sleep in an
there's enough
abandoned camp.
There's enough supplies to sleep for the night. Like, okay. And in the middle of the night, it's all like, ha ha.
If
ha,
you
ha.
didn't save before that,
You're gonna wish you did.
have fun reloading an autosave from like an hour and a half ago.
Potentially.
Because you're not killing him if you're not prepared for
I wonder if he's in the campaign itself.
him. Probably. He's named. He also, round 1, casts Shield on himself. You know, one of the 2 spells that works on him?
Stops magic missile.
Yeah.
And that plus 4, that AC, his AC is like 34 now.
Yeah.
Has like 4th level characters. And like,
Damn.
okay.
Ouch. No way, Fire Pope is hosting us. Hi,
Nice. Well,
Thanks, bub.
all right. So what happens?
So, as you guys are going, because this sounds very Andrew-esque, amongst the crowd, so you may not quite hear it, but I imagine he kind of yells like a F you guys, and then a reflex save from everyone.
All this.
Hopefully this goes a little bit better than last time.
Hopefully.
24.
I got a 23.
I got a 17.
I should double check what the DC is.
20.
Well, I'd save from me, but doesn't mean I'd save from him.
Good question.
Also, if he's casting an AoE spell, kind of glad I failed.
Oh,
'Cause then
did
the
we?
corpses I'm holding fail. And he just fireballed his dead friends.
Did we have a dead day?
just now
Okay,
the
have nothing.
tanks hit.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we had the rest
We're
of
on
yesterday.
fire.
at that point, I put fly into my spell.
Oh boy, save
The
us.
sword.
Oh, if you had prepared from when you guys fought.
Well, no. So like
Dragon
we
stuff.
fought the dragon.
This
I
is
used
the next
fly.
day.
Oh, this is only the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I don't do that yet.
We're on fire.
Oh, so it's DC. So what were rolls?
24.
23.
Fair.
17.
27.
Pass.
Wow, he had a decent save.
He was literally charisma the character.
Let's
In
just say his
the
second
character.
highest ability score was a 16.
16
It
dex,
was
14 con.
16
was
dex,
int-based,
12 con.
Not charisma based.
Yeah, he's in. He was casting stat.
That is a lot of damage that just got rolled there.
Thank you.
How much hit points did you say a corpse has?
Hold on.
Ooh.
That is 52 damage.
Oh.
That's a lot of damage.
26.
That was unpleasant.
No, I would not say the corpses are charred because all the gear and stuff you hold doesn't get blasted from the evocation stuff.
So when they're alive, they take damage, but as soon as they're dead, they stop being affected by the spell. It still affects flesh.
Well, then he just doesn't target them.
But Austin's
he cast?
literally
It was
holding
chain
it.
lightning.
Oh, it's again whatever. Rock's choice.
Can I make a perception check to see
You
where
can
he
make
is
a
in the crowd?
perception. It came out of the crowd at ways back.
Right.
But
I'm
yes.
going to take one of them and then just bash it against the railing.
Okay, see, that's going to do some of the corpse.
I'm going to stare into the crowd roughly where I think the caster came from,
So I got a 24.
and then just bash the corpse against the railing.
26 from my perception as well, so I'm trying to just be like
24
Oh.
to try and see him.
26 from
40?
Oh,
3?
I know you have the best perception here, so,
9.
well, guys, believe it or not, Cassandra did not see where it came from.
Um,
So Maldrick, basically seeing the lightning come out, looks about where the lightning came from, and he sees the little man, basically like pointing his finger and like, huzzah. And he like stares him
I'm
dead
going
in
to
the
lock
eye.
eye with him.
Out of curiosity, which corpse?
The paladin.
Paladin. Just locking eyes. And just... And to the point where you see a little bit of blood kind of go...
Yeah, it's a full force. Crush it against whatever's there.
looks like that hammer decapitation that we witnessed on Gallipoli.
Yes, actually.
Actually, I'll enrage first, and then I'll do it. Just because that was half my life, and I'm angry.
That's fair.
So that's me smashing a corpse into a railing with a 30 strength score.
Yeah, you can say
And then, so I'm assuming I didn't see him with a 24.
not quite. Because he's far enough back in the crowd, or not quite. But you saw like the area, because, well, lightning came from somewhere.
Mhm.
But I think at this point we'll roll initiative and see how you guys act. So
So,
I'm assuming you're going to do something.
I said I held a spell. Do I get to use that, or would I have to use that on my first round?
What spell did you hold?
See invisibility for the first thing that was
Oh,
suspect.
yeah, you can cast that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you had mentioned that.
Man, I'm rolling like crap today.
Alright, well, we'll start with Cassandra.
14. Rolled
Get
a
a year.
gentleman 6.
20.
20. Niels.
Nice.
Niles.
19.
19. Mildred.
16. Probably gonna die.
I'm kind of
Sorcerer goes first. Another DC 26 fireball thingy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're dead.
Nils might be dead. Nils is for sure dead if that happens.
Yep.
Nils just like,
I guess we should have been scrying on them while we were making this announcement.
Meh.
It would have been nice to know if they were like in the crowd and.
Oh, Brock, this screenshot says that Viscount Smolderburn's AC gets up to a 39.
If what?
The thing that ambushes you at the abandoned camp?
Oh, okay.
39.
Oh, it's that high. Oh, maybe it was a 35 before shield then, yeah.
1 size, 12 dex, 5 deflection, mage armor, shield, natural, and the dodge feat.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a little dumb. To say the least.
Trying to find someone who took a screenshot of a stat block, but I can't find it.
So, Galir, you did not quite... You know about where it came from, but you did not see him specifically
Okay.
in the crowd?
And I'm up.
Yes.
I'm going to teleport closer to where I figure he was coming from to see if I get a better look.
Teleport into the crowd?
Yeah.
Give me a perception roll.
Not into the crowd, but above the crowd, and I'll be flying.
Ooh, okay.
This time I got a perception check of 27. Yeah.
Roll D8 for me out of curiosity.
3.
Cool. So slide your figure over just to represent where you are. You're at a teleport about 50 or so feet away.
So
balcony-ish.
So on a 3, for a moment he'll be you. So he's kind of like here, like maybe 15 feet from you. I'll say 10. You got a better idea where he was.
Oh, he was only like 50 or 60 feet out?
It ended up being, I was thinking it's like 100 or so, but I was thinking the crowd wouldn't have been that big, at least not the entire time. So
Right.
he ended up being like 6 or so feet from the
Because
balcony.
if he was only like 60 feet out, I wouldn't have bothered wasting a spell. I thought he was further away where I couldn't get there and around.
Oh, that's fair. No, okay, yeah.
So I would have just flown out there over the crowd.
Okay, so you
instead.
fly out there. It looks like he's not invisible. He was just hiding in the crowd. But he kind of like sees you. He's like, oh shit. And then you find him. He's like, uh-oh.
So if he only used a move action, though, Mitch can.
I will
tiny
make him
roll.
take a fort save.
Damn, he's so good at these two. His will save is actually worse. God damn, what's your will save your worst save?
Because his con is a thing.
There's that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't his wisdom like a 10 or an 8?
It'll be so nice to get through this fight without taking any damage.
You already took damage.
I'm still at 100 and something % life.
Irrelevant. You still took damage.
Oh, he had great fortitude. That's why it's a little bit higher. Okay. that
Greater
makes sense.
fortitude. Good feat.
We got that for free. That's a campaign boon.
Well, he did get a 28.
Wow.
Well,
Does he take damage or something though?
no, he passes the ice tomb.
I was like, this is gonna go real quick if this is the case. And I was like, oh wow, okay, he actually did just die. But you can clearly tell that he knows exactly where Jason is, conveniently.
Mm-hmm. So, okay.
And I think he is next. Yeah.
Chain lightning. Half of us are dead.
Oh. He
He
will.
might be willing to target me at this point.
He actually is going to target you,
Yeah.
and I think he's going to
With
ask
a chain lightning?
Could be a chain lightning or
for a.
anything else.
Yeah. I think that's a fort save. That should be a fort save. Fort save.
Oh no, that's my second worst save.
It's also your second best save.
That is also true. They're all also relatively in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
So that right there is a 32.
Oh, you are not disintegrated.
Ooh. So my hands are full.
I think you take 5d6 on a pass.
After the chain lightning and disintegrate would have been
Yeah,
close to a
56.
dead or a full dead.
Well, disintegrate
Disintegrate
is
first.
2d6 per cast level.
Probably would have been quite dead.
And then if it
you
kills you,
take
your body
20.
doesn't exist.
20 I can take. 20 is fine.
It means true res is the only way.
Actually, the dust from disintegrate works for resurrection.
Oh, that's
It
convenient.
actually specifies that because
Well-
it's considered part of your body.
What if we pull out our hand vacuum and vacuum the dust so we can't get to
Then
it?
you have it in a convenient spot for it.
I was gonna say
Now,
no,
if
it's
you
all
cast
consolidated.
gust of wind,
See, that's
then
a
it's
different
gone.
story.
Yeah.
and you can't.
Was that that was the episode before of Androids and Aliens? It was so funny because they ended the episode on a fight.
So he does that, and then he shifts into the crowd, but you still see where he is.
They ended it.
You had good enough perception. You still see where he is.
I rolled over a 40. I really
Yeah.
hope so.
That was what I
and
was saying. He's like, no, you had
So-
pretty good lock on him.
I'm pretty sure I have
Nils.
Arcane Sight permanent seed as well.
You do.
So I can probably have once I get close, I've gotten close enough and I can see him, I can probably have a pretty easy way of
Especially since
tracking
you're
him at this
above
point.
him, it's
Yeah.
really hard for him to hide.
Yeah.
He's just
You
this
hide it.
glowing orb.
He goes
of
to hide
magic.
trying to hide under like someone's cloak.
He's just this glowing orb of magic in a sea of mundane. Because
Yeah, Squee knows how that works.
they're like what 15th level at this point?
No.
No.
I thought they were like 13th.
I thought they were comparable.
Yeah.
So 13 CR worth of magic items
Level equivalent gear. Yeah.
inside of a party or a gaggle
So you
of
do not
peasants.
see. You
Yeah.
see that he's definitely going at it with him. You didn't see where he was in the crowd, and you don't see. Well, at least not Squee, I should say. I'm not going to ask you to roll that.
I'm not bothering to look for squeeze either.
If Rocco's bad and I roll good.
That's fair. You yes. Hey, maybe you can fight Squee.
Okay.
No, actually, Squeeze invisible. So I can't.
True. Vanish.
What's that?
Vanish the thing.
Yep.
And so we're Squeeze never-ending supply of scrolls.
Yeah, that's true. That is also true.
I may have your character sheet up of Squee because he had his bag of holding on it, and I was
So
like,
many
I'm
scrolls.
curious.
There goes Squeeze gear, Squeeze other gear.
The
And then
ocean
other
gear.
stuff.
It was the
Basically,
things I used to add numbers to other parts. And then every scroll and wand we ever touched.
5 scrolls of cure moderate wounds, a scroll of remove curse, 2 scrolls of move disease, a scroll of heal, a scroll of raise status, stone to flesh, vision, word of recall, blade barrier, quest geese, 2 stone skin, scroll, 2 scrolls of binding. Those were funny.
I used one of those successfully.
What's the scroll binding do?
For
So-
40 years, you didn't exist.
It's very silly. So, was
It's one of the few spells that can turn into a ritual that gives you +2 per participating member. Fail to save and a number of things happens.
you
The
pick
worse
which
the
mode you
thing,
wanna use,
the
yeah.
worse the thing, the less time there is.
38 this time to go.
And
ahead
one
and
of
try
the-
and
I picked
find
the-
out where
I think I picked the worst one, which has the shortest duration, which is like
With
you're
him and him
unable
duking
to
at
move
the
and
moments,
no one
and you
can
see where
approach you.
he's looking like,
for like 20 years.
you're hiding in the crowd there.
Perfect.
You know, it'd be a little difficult to shoot him or so, but you still can take a shot, and then there's... I guess it also depends if you care about casualties, though. Because you don't care about shooting through someone, that might make a difference.
I mean, they were booing us, so they're not my loyal.
He made the mistake of using civilians as cover.
True.
He clearly
he's
doesn't care
smart.
about
That
them.
doesn't mean he's wise.
This is not on me.
He clearly chose to do this on purpose.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and full round this bad boy.
I intended on calling him out.
So, I'm curious, because he's in a crowd like that, do you shoot guns, or do you throw an AoE at him, or both, or what?
I'm shooting my guns.
Okay.
Because I like shooting guns.
Well, you could do like all of its gun attacks and a fireball, correct?
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
spell combat.
Yeah, you can do all of it.
Sure, I'll toss a fireball in there. Why the hell not?
Bang, 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 bang. Fireball.
Okay.
Let's do fireball first. What is the,
Clear out some of the obstacles and then start shooting him.
what is your DC
That's
for
fair.
a fireball?
You
sir?
chose this.
I'm not actually sure.
So it's your intelligence modifier plus 3rd level spell. So 3.
DC 10 plus
Plus
spell level
10.
plus in or casting stat. Yeah.
And I doubt you have spell focus evocation feat, so...
No.
Well, at least you have
So my
reflex as
my-
your best
So
save.
my intelligence modifier is 6.
Yep, so it's a 19.
19. Cool.
Empty our fridges.
Shoot.
Oh, I know.
Oh, we never went to my dad's house.
Nope.
What am I?
Well, he did pass the save, but let's see how the crowd around him in 24 radius looks.
How many D?
Oh, 10.
10? Cool. I'm gonna get started on rolling those right now.
Yeah.
Okay. 5. 10. 1 take 4. 28. 31. 35. Not a very damaging fireball, but
Not bad.
It killed the crowd around him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Also, remember he's a D6 class with a 12 con modifier. Like,
With a magus that knows exactly where it is floating over. his
you
head.
all now know exactly where he is.
the crowd's gone.
Look what you made me do!
Look what you
Made me do. Look what you made me do.
Look what you just made me do.
do.
We all
Damn it.
just chant while menacingly staring at him.
Hello.
Brazali looks
Oh.
at you, he's like, oh, it's some pop star from our time, don't worry about it.
You'll understand when you're older, kid.
I'm sorry.
Your kids are gonna.
The
love
old
it.
Nils can't come to the phone right now.
1, 2,
Why?
3.
Because he's killing Jason. Look what you made me do.
So, let's see.
Someone might die here.
But all that shooting I'm about to do. What's the range increment right now?
You would be at a
50.
-2.
-2. All right.
What is his AC? That's relevant.
Okay, so we've got.
Oh, that's. Oh, right. Your AC was such balls until the end.
Yep.
So we got
Have fun not missing.
33.
Hit.
Ooh. 28.
Hit.
Have fun not missing.
28. And one more. 4. Oh, yeah, he hit. So, anyway.
He might not die.
But he also might die.
He also might die.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a start.
Let's see. 16. Oh, wait. It's not that many that I add to it.
What is your weapon right now?
No. So it's acid. So hold up.
So
I'll need
it's,
to add 1 6. So,
okay.
right now.
So it's just
7.
acidic.
Yeah. 19.
Okay.
The other 3 hits now.
And the other 3 hits now.
You roll 1d6 of acid on that one too.
Yep. Dang. Damn. This one makes it 15. 18.
One last one.
Ah, there you go. That's what we were looking for.
14 plus 12 is 26.
Yeah, 26. So,
He just needs to align his chi to the borrowed dice.
Man, if one of those hits didn't hit, he would have been up. Just until someone looked at him, but
But it's really hard for us not to like actually hit him.
Yes.
well, that's what I was doing. I was doing the 5d6 for the shocking grasp. that I
oh,
was
you
putting
didn't
on
get that,
there.
yeah.
Where you cast the fireball.
Which cast the
But I
fireball
cast the
instead.
fireball. So yeah, that was what I was doing habitually.
Great. Well, I know what I'm doing on my next turn.
Grabbing the body and flying away.
Or teleporting away, either one.
Uh-huh.
We'll pull a Jason, if you will.
I have to go pull apart. I'm gonna go pull apart a Jason.
Wait. I mean, close, but. Alrighty, so you went.
It's like the cell arc for your sword.
Looks like that is a Maldrick next.
So I'm gonna shout the word avalanche in Cyclopean. I'm calling my animal companion because I have one of those.
Yay!
We haven't seen this yet.
Nope.
Our characters actually
Oh,
believe
right,
you
I know
had
what it is, that's right.
avalanche the entire time.
Yeah, you know avalanche is my pet rock.
But we have not
His
seen
rocks is
avalanche
usually just
yet.
flying around or something.
They're too big to hang out inside.
Is he huge?
Mm-hmm.
He has to be big enough for Maldrick to ride.
I mean, rocks usually gargantuan, so there's
Yeah.
that.
And they're only supposed to be large with animal companions.
Oh, but you. Right.
I have shenanigans.
Yes.
I can cast a large person on him, even though he's not a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's a person in my heart.
That's a really good part of the Goliath druid being able to
He's a
cast a large
person in
person
my
on your
heart.
animal companion.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine, was he like up above the temple and just kind of
He's
swooshes
probably
down?
on some tall building nearby.
Okay.
So I'm just going to call for him. I don't expect him to get here this round. I mean, he only has a fly speed of 80. But, I mean, they say that because the temple is gigantic and there's empty space in every direction around it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
But I'm going to free action that. Move action, I'm going to take one of the corpses and put it with the other one. And then standard action, I'm going to cast heal
Oh, on yourself.
on myself.
I was
So
like,
as
did you
to
just
not
heal the
die.
corpse? Oh, wait.
No.
So as to not die,
That's fair.
potentially.
And I will become enraged.
Rar. Oh, you already did that, actually.
Oh, I was already raged last time. Cool. I have 153 hit points right now.
Cassandra.
At this point, I'm just looking for I would see invisible squee because I cast see invisibility and we're in very open space, so hopefully there's nowhere he can hide.
Unless he is still hiding well enough.
Yeah.
So roll perception.
Oh, I'm not. I'm looking on the balcony directly around the vicinity.
Oh, no, you do not see him on the balcony.
Because at this point, because we know enough about the characters, like I don't know if Squee has anything other than I'm invisible rogue and I'm walking up. So I'm not looking into the
Squee,
crowd.
Squee never just walks up.
That's fair.
Oh, but
Squee's a paranoid bitch.
but I'm looking directly here because I'm like, all that's left is Rogue. So where's Rogue?
Probably protecting sorcerer.
If he's smart, he's gone.
Or that. He probably was protecting sorcerer, and then
He's like,
sorcerer just
Oh,
dropped like a fly. So Squee's probably not going to be here
good
anymore.
for that.
Don't worry, he'll blend into that crowd.
I mean, yes.
I don't need a
Yes.
crowd to blend into.
And then, no, not Squeak, but
Oh,
talking about this one. Quick, blend
yeah,
in.
we just recycled the whole troop rogue mechanic.
It's like, blend into the crowd.
There's no more crowd.
Oh, then perish.
That's right. It's the bad guys you're supposed to use the crowd as cover, not the good guys, because bad guys don't care.
The worst part is that it's totally Andrew's character is something he would have done, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tried to
Just
snipe
like-
with a spell from.
Best part about that. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
just hide in the crowd, guys.
We watched
Oh.
it happen successfully
Yeah.
with a different class and different scenario. The rogue in the troop. That
In
is
the
a
troop.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah.
character
Yeah.
hiding in a crowd. Like, it worked really well.
Yeah.
It's just he didn't have a high enough stealth score to
Evade you guys.
pull it off.
Just a wee bit. Thinking real quick about a thing.
Oh, on my turn, I actually probably would have turned into a red cap.
So I will say there would be. Oh gosh. Go figure. There's other things here, and I'm trying to figure out what a thing would have done. So from that perspective, he chain lightning them. Guy flew over. He tries to disintegrate it. Everyone
It
around
didn't
gets
seem-
fireballed and he gets shot a bunch from some wild tech thing. Because they have no idea what the crap you're wielding. That's the funny thing.
Correct.
It sounded like one of those boomsticks, but it shot way more times than a boomstick should shoot.
Yeah.
Unless you get that really weird thought that at 11th level. But we don't get into that.
No.
Wait, in this time period in Kintargo, would they know what a boomstick is?
Well,
They're
people
very
would.
rare.
That's what I'm saying, it's very
Gunslingers
rare.
are
Would you
a
see it in
normal-
Kintargo, though?
I mean, the
They're a
same
normal
as you would
class,
other places.
so I mean, you would basically just have like the same thing of like I once heard a magus can do this sort of thing, but I've never seen it in my life, and I've never met someone who can. I once heard that someone can hold these very big sticks that make booms.
A really tiny cannon.
I really, yeah, like
Cannons are very well used.
Oh, for sure,
Oh, that's
cannons.
fair,
Cheliax uses them. So if you're going to draw a parallel to that,
Yeah, I wouldn't
little
even.
thing,
I don't think they'd go to boomsticks first. I go,
Handheld
why does that
cannons.
guy has a handheld cannon?
Yeah.
Is where they would go first.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
it
like-
does shoot very slowly, normally.
Mhm.
So yeah, very, very, very close to like a handheld cannon. And then again, you get to 11th level when you're reloading flintlock pistols as non-actions, just like, yeah, I can dual wield flintlock pistols in 6 seconds, take 6 attacks. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. I much prefer the idea is they have 6 flintlock pistols and they just don't make you pay for 6 different guns.
So you're literally just cycling through them as you go.
Because you
That's
see it a lot
actually
in
really
like
fun.
pirate films
Yeah.
where they have like 3 or 4 flintlocks and then
Yeah.
they shoot it and they put it back and then they shoot it and they put it back and they're all just preloaded.
well, that's Reaper from Overwatch. Whenever he reloads, he just throws away the shotgun and grabs 2 more shotguns.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
from somewhere.
So they're all the other characters are like, poor
Prison
Reaper,
pocket.
he doesn't know how to reload his own guns.
That's what keeps him up at night. It's just him sitting on his bed in his full fucking outfit with a blanket over his lap, just going like, one day I'll figure out how to reload them. I'm just gonna kill everyone who sees me throw them away, and then no one will ever.
And then there's just an army of minions reloading all the shotguns. They have to like walk behind him, pick up the shotguns, and start reloading them. And then they can be like, "Oh, here's all your stuff." And he goes,
Here's more
"Oh, okay."
shotguns.
And they're like, "How?"
We're looking for Reaper. Don't worry, he leaves a trail.
Just bunch of empty shotguns. He was here. How do you know? Because there's 2 empty shotguns here. Come on. Come on, guys, follow. Pick up on the pattern.
2 empty shotguns laid here.
Well, they're still there, dude. Shut up.
I guess Cassandra is by Big Man. Where's Big Man?
I mean, the balcony's like there.
That's the balcony.
This is the balcony?
Yeah, it's the balcony.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the rail that you would have smashed the head against.
Yeah, so these were like here.
Pretty sure this is the front, isn't it?
No.
That's into the temple.
Oh, okay.
Just the other balcony on this balcony. I find part of when there are people such as Squee, if they want to do something but don't have ranged attacks, what would they actually be doing? So I guess there's that.
I don't know. What would they be doing?
Neil's gonna go looking for heals.
You guys got this. I'm gonna go find one of those religious boys to touch me.
One of them religious boys.
Give me that good touch.
Perfect.
As opposed to the bad touch?
Yeah.
Give me. I think that's a 4
Hey
save.
Spencer, let's grab a figure and put you on the board somewhere. Just for Brock's perspective.
That's not this figure because he's not on the board yet.
Don't say Pathfinder Fortitude save. Look at the spell you're gonna cast.
Pathfinder Fortitude save.
Well, I guess no.
It is a Fortitude save.
Let me go over here.
Okay.
This is the dragon's nest still. Same Megan, she's right there.
So this time I got a 31.
Stop that! I can't. I'm trying to do things to you.
No!
Yes.
Stop it! Why is Squee being not smart? We're just vengeful, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work, believe it or not.
Fair enough. Can I roll a spell check to see what just tried to
I guess
happen?
we want to. Yeah.
I got an 18 on the die. I think I got it. I had 25.
Someone tried to blind you.
Blinded by
What kind of trick would do that? The guy who usually does that is dead.
Someone who wants you to not see.
He's right here.
He's right here. Wait, it's that one. There you go. But you actually would be able to tell that that is actually a little a half elf who's on the edge of the crowd.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we
Nifty.
know of her?
Um.
I mean, they might actually know who it is, but do we know of her?
When you guys asked about, well, you guys easily in a day or so could have asked about other allies they had. So you heard of Shensen, who was the lead singer of the Cantargo Opera House, who is a very artistic and quite skilled bard fighter person.
Okay, so whose turn is it, Neo?
I'll say she's like over here.
Okay.
No, I'll say she's back here.
So does she
Oh, that's
save her fireball?
She was on the edge of it.
Oh.
And then, like, moved up. Next to corpse, I'll say. Because Roger's like, yeah, she'll got see invisible. Squee knows that that guy can see invisible people. Never mind.
Hell, his eyeballs look like my eyeballs.
Yeah, basically.
Very similar.
He's probably
Squeeze
as
like-
paranoid as I am.
Damn it. So he runs past.
Those eyes.
Remember?
Well, no, Squeeze saw them eyes in here.
The
Yeah.
best part is I didn't have any of this until I studied the Silver Ravens, and I'm like, well, let's see, that one likes to go invisible a lot, so I need to see invisibility. And then I look over at, oh, Squee did that. It's probably a good idea. I'll do that too.
So, what still is funny about this is Noah saw how useful permanenting spells were, so he did it, and then never.
He
Also
also
Used
had.
them?
afterwards.
Yeah, he had arcane sight.
When he just goes like, "I have arcane sight. Can I see that?" Or are you studying it as per the spell arcane sight? Oh, is that how it works? Like 3 times.
I'll say it's your turn.
So he did
Okay.
bring it up just.
Well,
Oh, okay, go figure the crowd starts to be in a panic and starts
so
to run
noticing
away, but there's
that
still a crowd.
there's now an ally next to the downed corpse there. I'm just going to fly down to the other side of the corpse and try and teleport away with it back to here.
I will say she will get.
I don't get within 5 feet of her.
She's like right next to the corpse. She's guarding the corpse. She's right
Okay.
there. To be fair.
Well, he can
Okay,
move.
Well,
sorry.
what if I just move there and cast defensively then?
Yeah. Move, cast.
I guess there's
defensively.
that.
Okay, cast defensively.
She's like intentionally there to guard the corpse
See,
in
I
case
will
you try
say
to do
casting
something.
teleport defensively is not the easiest thing to accomplish.
This is a DC 25.
You need at caster level plus intelligence plus
I mean,
combat
I'm
casting.
pretty
if
sure-
applicable.
I don't have combat casting, I just have veteran field caster, which is just a +1. But still, that's
That's helpful.
13 plus 10, so 20. I add 23 to this roll, so a 1 fails.
It gets so easy when you get to higher level. It's
It
silly.
does.
I got 19 on the die.
That's
So-
a 1. That's a 1 you failed.
So, whoop, to right here,
You must be there.
right by the door,
Ah, I figured
to
that's where
the
you went.
non-teleporty room.
Just. Yep.
Hey, it's. Oh, wait, never mind. He's dead.
Another raven down.
I guess that would bring it to Nils.
Guess. Perception check to see if I can see her.
You can see her. There's no crowd right there.
Oh,
It's a kind of fireball.
Yeah, I kind of took care of that one, didn't I?
So don't roll a 0.
Her AC is so low, just don't roll a 0.
Well, on the perception, I said.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Well. Yeah, just go ahead and toss another fireball in there. Why the heck not?
Well, would this fireball do more than the shock and grasp? Oh yeah, because the fireball has more d6s, so you're right.
Let me see.
19. Where's your reflex save? Is that
2.
22. 5. 27.
Is that 96 or 10?
Oh, yeah, we need one more. 27. 33.
Okay.
And go ahead and do some good attacking.
Ooh, there's not 20 in there.
Yay. Cool. So anyway, that was the last attack.
The last attack is a very good one to get a 20 on. You get
That's
that
true.
auto hit.
Yeah, you get the auto
Yeah.
hit. Alright, actually that's the third attack, but that's okay, cool. Alright, so we're in that same kind of -2 range increment. So
I'm so thankful I get paid this Friday.
I'm so happy I get paid
So-
tomorrow.
25.
I just spent.
Miss.
Oh, tomorrow's my
27.
overtime check.
Sorry, she's not a squishy sorcerer.
No worries.
The paycheck I'm really looking forward to is the
Did not confirm the crit.
November 15th
but
check.
an
'Cause
auto
I'm
hit.
pretty sure I get my Christmas
And
bonus on
then-
that one.
Oh, I don't get mine until December.
27 again. So
The owner always wants us to
27
have
hit?
it right
No.
before Black Friday.
that's one
That's
hit.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
It's like if I'm
convenient.
going to give this to you, I might as well give you the best
23.
time to utilize it.
Alrighty. After you is
At least you've stopped endangering civilians.
Meldrick.
So how long do you think it's gonna take for my bird to actually get here?
It's here. It'll get here. It'll be where you want to go, I guess.
Right next to me.
Okay, it'll get here.
Okay, I'm gonna toss the corpses up for him to grab, and then fly away. And then I'm gonna hop over the railing.
Okay, I guess that's a thing. Here, boy, run.
Go.
So the bird got here. The got corpses. Hasn't left yet, but it's got 'em.
Okay.
I was like, what do we want this bird for?
Not my boat.
Cassandra.
Well, I'm actually going to cast fly, and whereas I'm not as fast as the rock, I'm going to follow the rock.
Alright, the rock hasn't left yet, but there you go.
So then I'm going to get a head start on the rock then.
She's gonna spray and try to run back into the crowd as it's skedaddling. Basically running off.
Oh wait, we have a body is still on the balcony, so I would probably stay with the body in the balcony, and I would cast shields and stay with Jason. If you don't mind me changing my answer.
No, that's fair.
Oh.
At that point, she's skedaddling.
I was thoroughly convinced I wouldn't have a voice today. It was almost gone last night.
Did you scream so much at your
Blair,
radio?
do you do anything else?
Having a sore throat and then going to a place with like 2% humidity.
Yeah, that'll do it. It's a little bit parched.
My lips got really chapped too.
Yeah.
My lips are chapped.
You have the corpse next to the door.
I'm just gonna open the door and like kick the corpse in there.
Fair enough. So she ran. You haven't seen anyone else. Does anyone else do anything at this point?
I'm still just on watch in case anyone tries to assault the balcony itself.
Okay.
Remember, unlawful assemblages are not a good idea. This has been a public service announcement.
No, you can't summon them, to be fair. Or they can.
Yeah, it's still unlawful if one of them decides to throw spells at us.
Well, okay, I guess. This is that.
A lawful semblance would be they come here, they listen to us, and then they disperse.
But those fuckers drink tea late at night.
Well, he did. Minced tea, to
This
be
one?
specific.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, every night.
Every night.
Every night. If I have a picture of Abigail that was too small.
They specifically have 2 small images of Abigail throughout the hideout, just in case they show up.
And they're also crooked.
They're so crooked.
Well, at that point, you have a third corpse now.
Mm-hmm.
Quite the collection.
And I'm gonna go hunt down a half elf.
She seems to be rather quick at the moment, and in the
And I'm
crowd.
gonna cast Long Strider Greater. And ignore the fact that there are medium-sized creatures in front of me. If I have to step on them, that's fine.
That's fair.
But I'm gonna try and attempt to hit her with this very large weapon.
Mm-hmm.
What is your movement speed with long stride, out of curiosity?
35 or 40. I have to double check. Because I'm still wearing heavy armor.
Yes, that's still complete.
Yes, 35.
So she does outrun you.
Flame strike.
That'll do.
Okay, you can get one of those off.
If I see that I'm not actually going to catch up to her.
Yeah.
2,
Right,
4,
so
6, 8, 10. I think Flame Strike goes up to 15.
Yeah.
And we're 13 right now.
Yeah.
Two, 5. 2, 4, 10. 20. 29.
Alright, dang. Sad rolls.
And then the next round I'm going to cast another one.
Huh?
I'm going to cast as many as I can until she's gone.
At that point, she runs off and gets into building range and is able to go around stuff.
Damn, we're really close to buildings.
She had haste on beforehand, so she was able to skedaddle.
My bird flew from a building and with an 80-foot movement speed took him 2 rounds to get here.
I mean, she sprints first round and just ran.
My bird can't sprint while flying? Or run while flying?
Don't know, actually. I didn't think about that.
I figured that's what he was doing, which is why it took 2 rounds. Because isn't this building like 200 feet across? Oh, probably a lot more actually.
Oh, across? Yeah, I think it's more than that.
And there's like half its width between it and the next building. That's what it looks like on the map.
Bleh. Not really friendly for that. Bleh.
But regardless, we got 3.
Yeah, you have the third one, that's for sure. About, yeah.
See?
For a building, yeah.
Whether or not I kill her, it is irrelevant. I'm going to do my best. And then we need to run an entire smear campaign about how this was 100% their fault. They'll lose all support, and we win. We need to forbiddance a lot of rooms in here, because the next linchpin is the clerics and the head priest, which are really susceptible to having their throats slit.
It says nothing under sprint or fly on the movement page about fly not being able to use the run ×4 mechanic.
That was, like I mentioned, more or less.
No,
so
I
I
was-
just didn't think about.
I was curious because I thought I heard somewhere one time that you couldn't, but I don't see anything on the
Well,
page itself.
honestly, I imagine at this point, like, they might be able to teleport in. So, but as long as I should probably stay in that chamber and keep an eye on it, in case someone who tries to sneak in invisibly, or tries to teleport in. And then, so long as you guys are really close,
We
we're
need just
linked.
yeah.
So it's just, hey,
Have
something's going on.
somebody with that
Drop
third
down
corpse.
here. Oh yeah.
Have somebody basically like escort the head cleric at all times,
Mhm.
and then we can just hang out for a while.
The head cleric basically spends almost his whole day in
Yeah, I-
pillar of fire.
In here, yeah,
doing
pillar
the
of fire.
ritual.
So I will watch here, because no one's going to be slipping past, at least not magically.
Yes, they can't. They
They'd
can't
have to slip
dimensionally
past my
travel
vision.
in.
Yeah.
So they have to walk in through one of, I guess technically 3 closed doors, but you can't really get to 2 of them very well. Yeah. So primarily probably through that door.
Yep. So
Nils is gonna put like just flower pot by one of the doors.
but yeah,
That's kinda
we're gonna
funny.
split.
Just-
I guess 2 people on each. We only have 2 protect targets right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So 2 people watch it.
Does the rock end up bringing the corpses
No.
back or no?
Rock just goes somewhere.
Just go somewhere.
That's fine.
It goes away.
It goes away.
And there's 1 corpse here, so we have had 2 people watching the corpse, 2 people watching the head cleric, and we wait. And that's all we do, because everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Until he's successful with his ritual.
How does we try something without putting his neck out too far? So which 2? So you're with the corpse.
I don't think she let me anywhere near the corpse. I'm going to be in here.
Oh, you're
I'd
in
be
there.
with the corpse.
Oh, she. Yes, fair enough.
Not that I clearly care at this point. If I had, I would have teleported someone that's not there.
Okay, that's a fair point, actually.
Yes.
So you're
Probably
in there.
underneath
You're
the
in
opera
there.
house.
Which one are you at?
I'll
Or
watch the
does
main
you
one.
or Maldrick have a preference? I guess.
No. Who has what is perception scores?
I've got 20.
I had a 15.
Non-existent.
She's
I'll
with
watch.
corpse. He's in by ritual.
I'll be in here.
Alright. I'll hang out with the corpse.
Because him being alive is more important than that
You're
corpse being on lockdown.
True. I could also potentially tomorrow, like, teleport the corpse away somewhere and come back.
Yeah,
I
the
can't do it
sorcerer
today
could
since
just.
I've already cast a teleport. But
The sorcerer could easily just get somewhere. The goblin's gonna have a little bit hard time with that.
Kaleri goes.
not that I know where I would. It's weird what knowing places would be in
Teleporting
a
in the
different
past or future.
Because I can think of places where my character would go, but I'm like, but is that the same place?
And is it from your timeline or the new timeline we've made and what's changed?
Right.
Like you could picture your secret hideout when you were a kid, just this little like clearing, and you could go try to teleport there and teleport inside of a tree. because of our actions. People settled in a slightly different place, and that's not a clearing anymore. Now it's still a forest instead of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
That's a
details.
good point, actually. That's kind of funny.
Or like even create like it could just be like a granary. I don't know.
Mhm.
It doesn't fucking matter. Someone could have
Built a
decided
thing
to
where you
build
thought
something
there was nothing.
Like, I mean, even if there was just something physical there, I'd just be shunted out and take a bunch of damage,
Mhm.
depending on what was there. So like a tree wouldn't suck that bad, but like
No, it'd only be one square
yeah, a big enough like
object.
object would be bad.
Okay.
So yeah, we wait.
Does anything else happen today?
Today, I'm going to say no for sure.
Cool.
Now I'm just curious about teleport because I think you try to picture it. If it doesn't exist or something like that, it just sometimes fails. But I guess it doesn't actually really matter. I'll do that later.
So
How does
technically,
Goblin-
if I go to a high enough spot that I could see a decent distance away, could I teleport as far as I could see?
Yeah.
That's probably far enough
So
in a random direction.
theoretically, we could go up and then teleport to the foothills.
Yeah, like I could just
Yeah.
fly up with the corpse, look around, and go like, "Oh, that seems like
Hey,
a
that's
good
a
enough
mountain.
spot,"
Poof.
and then just poof over there and know how to get back.
Let
Just
go of it and poof back.
You'd
Alright.
be able to see like the mountain range for the Mandor Mountains if you just fly up above the city.
So I will
Yeah,
now
I'll take it
put
there.
fly in the spell storing sword.
Yeah, I'll take it there. I'll take some time when I get there to memorize this location, and then I will
Just in
teleport
case.
back.
Okay. I teleport to a random location. Let's remember where this random location is.
At that point, then Nils is just going to spend his time walking and checking doors.
I kind of just want to carry. That'd be silly though.
Hmm?
Kind of just want to carry Jason's body around.
Actually sounds hysterical.
You can.
There's
if you
no
want
way
to.
Squeak can steal it from me.
I threw out the idea of teleporting it somewhere.
a small sized goblin.
There's no way he can steal combat maneuver that
I
from
threw
me.
out the idea of teleporting it away, but if you want to carry it,
How hard is it to steal something in someone's possession?
Oh, it's like there's CMD plus a number.
Yeah. Sounds right.
So Nils is going to spend the rest of his time just like walking around.
And he
like,
didn't have
checking all the doors.
agile maneuvers.
Mhm.
So it's his 3/4 BAB -1 for strength versus a 31.
Agile maneuvers, yeah, if you want to do anything as a dex-based character, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, side note, Bryce and Brian are like wonderful hosts, by the way.
I'm sure they would be. Did you meet their weird roommate that he was talking about?
Yeah, I saw her both the mornings I woke up, because her and Brian went to school.
Mm-hmm.
And she has an awesome dog. I
Oh.
posted on Snapchat.
I know that dog
Yes.
looked adorable.
He's a precious little boy named Pippin. And we hung out. And it was fun.
That's awesome.
So this is a new day?
Yeah.
It is a new day.
And Brian made me pancakes today. From scratch. Sourdough pancakes with sausage.
Nice.
Oh.
They always offered me coffee, like to make me coffee every morning I woke up. They drove me as many places as they could. They were being
Nice.
very helpful.
That's super cool.
Cool.
I bought Bryce breakfast Tuesday, and then I took them to Top Golf with my gift card
Ooh.
just to say thank you.
Yeah.
So like you
Nice.
did Top Golf with them?
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you like it?
They suck a lot, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, Top Golf was a blast. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I cannot participate in Top Golf. I
Because
would
you're
go
bad.
to hang out, but I can't do it.
His
I had back surgery 14
Oh.
years
so that,
ago.
that
Oh, okay.
twist motion would fucking
So
wrench you.
we 5 years ago went golfing for our Father's Day, and I made it 3 holes.
About, yeah.
Fair.
And then I said I can drive the golf cart or I can sleep in the car, which I think eventually I did just go sleep in the car.
Top Golf's fun. Like they bought 2 pitchers.
Yeah.
Or the 3 of us while we were hanging out there, and I paid for. It was, to be fair, it was during the worst time to go to Top Golf. After 5 p.m. We
Yeah.
went to the 4th floor, which is or 3rd floor, which is 21 and up. So it's $78 an hour.
Oh, wow.
But they're also locals, and in Vegas, locals get 25% off almost everything.
Damn.
Really?
So they got 25% off the fee. They're talking about if they have actual, like, well, neither of them had proof because they moved there in February. But the lady was nice and let them do it anyways.
Nice.
But if Brian gets his school ID, they can go during, like, I think it's before noon. It's $28 an hour. With 6 people, before the discount, it's $4 a person per hour.
Yeah, $3 a person.
Sure. But, like...
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I like Topgolf. I think it's fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to break some stuff.
Oh.
I hit the turf with the golf club enough times to where I used a smaller club and didn't hit it as hard. Because I was gonna snap a golf club in half.
Have you ever really gone golfing?
No.
Oh.
My grandpa tried to teach me when I was 9. His knuckles bled and it cried.
Oh.
And that was the last time I touched a golf club until, Tuesday.
Dang.
It was New Mexico. It's insanely dry there.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
But you're allowed to hit golf balls off into nothingness because that's all New Mexico is. It's nothing.
Actually, that would be satisfying.
The only place
So,
better
yeah.
to hit golf clubs would be like off
Ocean?
On a cliff.
or into a Stargate.
We went and found them. That was the other half of the game, was go into that field and find the golf balls.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There was a there's a random place in like Africa. It's like a resort they have, and there's a golf course there, but
No, we're all just chilling.
it's kind of on top of like I guess like a. There's just a cliff in one area of it, like just where the land falls off and goes into it. And so they went and they decided that they put a little just mini green at the bottom of the cliff, and it's like you can pay $100 into the pool, and whoever nails a hole in one gets the pool.
That's cool.
Nice.
I'm not putting $100 in that.
We should go disc golfing someday.
Disc golfing's pretty chill.
Oh, I haven't done that in ages.
You can get some really douchey people to disc golf. When I went, my aunt and her last boyfriend used to go all the time, and we went to just some random course like near Benicia, and you have some like people who are really into disc golf, and they act like assholes. Like we're waiting for this hole. Are you gonna hurry up, or should we just like you guys should just stand on the side and we'll wrap this up in 2 throws. We'll just get past you. I'm like, all right, douche, like fucking go. Be cocky that you can throw a piece of rubber into a chain. Like, that's fine. I'm enjoying myself. I don't care if it took me 18 throws. So we wait for as many days. Are you going to make an actual roll every day to see if when it happens?
So it actually technically takes a few days, then it's rolls, but so you read and remember that was how it worked. But I'm thinking in my head, how exactly Squee would like handle or like go at the situation, what he would like do at first, to like try to like gather info and try to see what all he could figure. He sees you guys there. He was trying to watch well enough. He knows you threw the corpse in that room, for example, but and was able to see some aura enough to be like, oh, that would hurt. And he knows he's in some real deep water.
Did he have spellcraft?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was able to actually use Arcane Sight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because you have to roll to identify.
yeah.
So at that point, he knows it would hurt to go in. He knows you can't teleport in or out. He knows you guys are guarding whatever ritual is going on there, so it must be important. But also that you guys are there. He doesn't entirely know what the ritual is, but he knows it's bad. He knows it's getting bigger. I was trying to think, if he does something, what would it be and when would he do it? He would try something. But it's like, how does he do it without getting his head cut off?
A vital part of making any plan, in my opinion.
Huh?
A vital part of making any plan, in my opinion.
Yes.
Squeeze or otherwise.
I would do that, but my head's gonna get cut off. Next plan.
If I do that, I'm going to die, so I'm not going to do that.
Well, clearly Squee just gives up, and then...
He doesn't want to, because he really doesn't like Rizzoli and like what he's doing and all, but at the same time he's like, these assholes came from like some other time or something to help him, and he's like, what the hell is this?
Does he know that?
Was he there during the conversation with?
Huh?
Was he there during
No,
the
but he
conversation?
did see the creatures and can make a check if he has the knowledge.
He has knowledge planes. So did Jason.
Oh.
They had plenty of time to talk.
Mhm.
And they're like,
So he knows the same for the same reason Rosalia knows.
he knows the implications of them. That's really all it is.
Those are animals that stop you from meddling with time.
Yeah.
Therefore,
And they were specifically
You guys meddling
attacking
with them.
these guys who we've never seen before.
you're meddling with time. I mean, I imagine Squee found that to be a nice sentiment that originally they won.
Yeah. And that was the weirdest part was how do they interpret that?
You're like, huh.
And
These
like
guys
so
are somehow messing with time in a way that makes these things want to kill them. Hey, that means we did it right. That's cool. We might not ever again, but
but now we're gonna lose.
that's cool. It was a nice thought.
Yeah, like in thinking of things that they would do, because I had their actions and things that they would do, and like a kind of sequence of how they would try to do it. So like one of the thoughts was if you did like cut off the heads, which I knew you wanted to do, or something like that. Like I would say they could sell some stuff and get a scroll of resurrection to use on one of the corpses and such, if need be, and that sort of thing. He already has a scroll of raised dead, but at that point it was they scryed on the bodies, and it was like there's a room they didn't recognize and blah blah blah. So it's like, So we kind of wandered around a bit in the temple like he did before, but only got so far with that and yada yada. So at this point it's like, well, Squee has at some point gone up to those doors and checked them and been like, okay,
Those are the no-no.
I'm not doing this by myself. Also, I don't have anyone else that can sneak in there with me. As much as I like Shensen, she is not a sneaky girl.
Nope.
That's for sure. Neither is there a Hell Knight friend.
This was a much easier heist when they stored the body
In that room,
in the downstairs room.
E11, I believe is
Yep.
where it was.
When all I had to do was sneak attack one guy.
There were two vampires. Oh, you sneak attack one guy and then just fought a vampire.
Yeah, there was a 1v1.
Yeah.
Because it was I snuck attack one of the vampires and then went first and killed him.
Yeah.
And then it was a 1v1 with a vampire. And all I needed was a minute. And then Jason was alive and we left.
Yep.
It hurt a little bit, but yes. It's like, grab them, we need to leave now. He's like, okay. Poof.
Poof. I was like, well, yeah, I can get in without touching those doors. And we can get out without touching anything.
I love how you got into.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Hey, rat. You touch it. Oh, it's gone. Oh, that's gone too. Okay, it worked. Cool. Oh, that was the best part.
Hi,
I
Bubba.
like it.
I missed you too, friend.
Oh, he doesn't even know the head. He technically doesn't even know the head priest is there inside the fire. He
Nope.
just knows you guys are guarding the pillar of fire.
Regarding the ritual site.
He just knows that there's a ritual going on and there's a giant pillar of fire.
Because at each pillar
Because
there's
we
a
rushed
greater
there to
host
kill the
devil and a
clerics.
cleric. Well, you rush in there, and you
And
start
he
doing
walked
stuff,
out.
and he walked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or at the edge of it to start casting spells, and he said, "That guy must be important."
Yep.
And he
Yep.
ran at him. Ends up he was very important.
Spooper important.
Squeeze just not gonna do it by himself.
Nope.
Nope. I figured he'd be hard pressed to do it even with Jason. There's no way he's doing it by himself.
Well, they had two other friends from the Silver Ravens. They had the Hell Knight
Yeah.
boy and the singer girl, but that only did so much in that situation. Even though he technically still has the other two with him, that's not enough.
Nope.
So does
Because
the
he's like,
ritual-
I've worn around there's a lot of stuff in here.
Does the ritual eventually happen?
I'm trying to think if he does. I'm still trying to think if he, because he would try to do at
Trying to
least
think, like-
something.
He could have maybe organized a raid with enough bodies, but then that's
It. I was thinking about that. It's like, could he just convince a bunch of people to just storm the temple?
Turns out no. Squeeze very bad at that.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
true.
he would have a
Has
hard time.
7 charisma and no ranks in any social skills.
But we had
I
a
think he
pretty
had a
sociable
5
guy on our
charisma,
side.
actually, sir.
Oh yeah, I point about a 7 at a minus.
Yeah, we could have. We'd
I mean,
had to.
Shensen could get some people, which was what I was more thinking.
Yeah.
Who had, over 4
Or
times
our noble
Squeeze
friend.
charisma. Oh, that's true. She'd have a better charisma. Also, she's like big time celebrity girl, so which is basically how they describe it. It's kind of funny.
She's a diva.
Ooh, you know, there is one troubled soul. He's hanging out with a man that owes us a favor. So Squeak could call it a favor. I don't know if you can think of anything that El Capitan boy lover.
Oh, that guy! I forgot about him.
I didn't.
Oh, that's so funny.
Was it the silver pen or something like that?
Yeah, that was the writer. Yeah,
The anti-Thrune
propaganda
writer. He had a little arm.
Oh my gosh, I so forgot about that. Yeah, okay, Captain Cassius
Captain Sassy.
Cassius.
Boy lover.
Cassius?
Yeah, it's Cassius.
Yeah, Captain Cassius Sargata. Yeah, he's not really chump change, but he did. That whole favors thing was kind of interesting.
It was.
An open-ended favor.
Multiple open-ended favors.
Yeah, was it three?
He broke a teacup. He handed you a teacup, and just as you drop it, however many pieces it broke into, which was like a die roll. So how many favors you got? You guys ended up getting like 9.
Yeah,
Oh, it was D10.
It was something ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
D10.
We were like, yeah, no. So each of us gets
It was like a
like
D6
2
plus-
for
it was a
ourselves,
D6
and the
plus
rest
3.
go.
D6 plus 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
So you said you each get 1 to yourself, and then 5 you'll just say, oh, you said 1 per book.
Yeah.
And you use that
Yeah,
2
there
of
we
them.
go.
It was 1 per person to use as anything you deem you want to. That's your reward. And then we save 1 per book.
Oh, yep, there's the boyfriend.
Yep.
It was the writer. Aristocrat 1, expert 3. So sad.
That is pretty sad.
So we will go ahead and make things at least a tiny bit interesting with. So I will end up saying it ends up being the 5th day of the ritual. Mouse skill you. There you are.
Is this one of the days he gets to roll?
No, because the ritual was sabotaged. It would be the next day is the first day.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
What does Scree try and do?
He gets what he can. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. Wait, I thought you had that. Where is that?
And then all of a sudden, all 4 of us blink at the same time, and every single cleric in the room is dead.
Oh
That
my
was sweet.
gosh, damn, I'm so... Okay, so actually, during this downtime-ish, you guys end up, because I almost forgot there was a thing I wanted, other little thing for you guys to do. So I'm going to say, after the fight on the balcony, the second one, and you guys get the 3rd corpse, that was weird.
Okay.
How about you guys kind of regroup to talk about what's going on? Just the 4 of you. I'm so sad. I almost totally forgot about this.
We don't
Okay.
need to regroup. We just talk in our heads.
I swapped out 1 spell. I want Scree
That
to
is
show
true.
up.
We don't actually ever have to convene in the same room to
Okay.
hold a meeting.
For convenience sake,
I just
Okay,
want
you
Scree
are-
to show up.
totally correct.
Because I want Scree to make a fort safe.
I thought about him just popping in and trying to like just
Wow,
chit
no,
chat.
guys, talking to y'all in my head just seems weird.
No, Squee needs to roll a fort safe and then it will save.
Also wants to keep his past character as a pet.
Maybe.
Also wants to keep one of his favorite past characters as a pet.
I might have switched 3 of my 4 available 5th level spells to Baleful Polymorph. Do I have any open spell slots anywhere else?
What would be the other 5th level spell?
Fire Snake.
No, I was like Flame Strike's a 4th level spell for Druid.
Well, yeah, my 4th level spells look like Flame Strike, Flame Strike, Flame Strike, Flame Strike, Empty, Empty.
Oh, empty. Okay, fair enough.
Fair.
My domain spells are Summon Nature's Ally 4 and Inflict Critical.
What domain you have that gives you those?
So because of my special thing, I get to prepare both domain spells. So I have the destruction domain, which is a subdomain of
Oh.
rage, I think. Let me go back to it. My domains are I have animal and rage.
Mm.
And rage is a subdomain of destruction.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Like
Cool.
weirdly enough, my the fifth level spell, like my bonus feat from animal is beast shape 3.
Oh, I guess because it's a cleric domain.
Yeah. It's still if you take that domain as a druid, you still get the domain features of it, and with a single spell, you're back to having a regular animal companion.
That's fair.
Because it gives you an animal companion at -4,
Or feet, but yeah.
and then you spend a feat to get it up 4. So you spend a feat and get the bonus spells, and then the domain
And,
features.
yeah.
The
Seems
eighth,
useful.
the 8th level one.
Mhm.
It's cute.
So, you guys, shortly after that, having an encounter with a different sort of creature. Okay, maybe encounter's not the right. No encounter. It's just not always fighting. Anyone who can roll me knowledge planes out of curiosity.
19.
29.
Planes. 33.
Well, go figure. Your one on the die did not identify it. Although I think Brandon's going to recognize it, as you probably all will, because we've actually talked about this thingy before. But one of these.
Oh.
It's just like they're kind of like leaning against the wall, kind of just like looking at you guys just nonchalantly. So you two don't know
Do
what
they
it is.
recognize what form it's in?
Yes, this is specifically that one,
And is that the one that wants to change time?
which is a fortune. So it's an Eerie.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've actually talked about this creature before.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the chaotic neutral version of it, which is the one who more or less likes the idea of things changing and not being so rigid. Chaotic instead of lawful.
He's come to bargain.
So it's standing there when you guys kind of notice it. So you guys killed the big ol' hound, huh?
Why did you
Yes.
specifically
Yes,
say
we
the
did.
word hound?
Because you guys call it a hound of Tyndall.
Sorry, I was actually hoping you'd catch my Sherlock quote.
Oh, why'd you call?
But why are you calling it a hound?
Oh,
Dang, I just
know
rewatched
what
that
episode
series
that's
too.
from.
That's why I specifically said it to you.
That I would do. I think I watched that series twice so far.
I've watched it at least
I
twice.
really want to rewatch it.
It holds up.
It's
Yeah.
so
It's
good.
one of those shows you can rewatch.
Oh yeah.
At the last time,
All 12
I
movies.
was just in a real baking mood, so I grabbed all my ingredients and just baked for a whole day and watched Sherlock. It's
Damn.
fantastic.
Wait, which type of baked are we talking?
I had to try really hard and not get
The
high.
kind where I ended up with a bunch of tasty sugary
The
sweets.
bride and groom were total
Oh,
potheads.
okay.
And Tyler's fiance is a total pothead.
No, see, the other kind of baked, you end up
Ayo!
no longer
Ayo.
having all the tasty sweets anymore.
Well, of course you won with that hand. Even Steve could have won with that hand. And all he says is, heyo,
Heyo.
shut the fuck up. Is that from Borderlands? What's that from?
Yes.
Yeah.
It just seems like a Borderlands quote.
It's
to me.
a Claptrap quote.
Oh, it's Claptrap.
Claptrap's telling a story.
But yeah, so you guys were the ones that killed the big ol' hound, huh?
Yes.
We
Which
were
one is
indeed.
it, by the way?
The blue.
Okay.
It is medium sized.
That was us.
We're talking to one of the most powerful denizens of the Dimension of Time. One of the most powerful types of denizens in the Dimension of Time.
Because I think we mentioned there's a dragon type.
There's
so
time
there's-
dragons, yeah.
And
The
dragons
three-
can get pretty big.
The
There's
three
also some
specific
great old
write-ups
ones, but
of
yeah.
the time dragons don't get big enough to
But
be
they're
above.
a dragon, so
You could do
they
the
can get to
custom
Great Worm.
write-up for it if you know how to, definitely. But they only go to it's young, adult, and there's only a third one. It's only CR
Ancient?
15.
Maybe ancient, because then it's worm and great worm.
It's ancient. It's a CR20.
Oh, Mitch
It's
gets
a CR.
baked and then watches movies.
It's a
Oh,
CR20.
no, I was
Oh,
saying
is
that
it?
there was a day.
So
the
then
last
there's no
time I
reason to
watched
make a worm or a
Sherlock,
great
the
worm.
show. I
Because
binge
they
watched
usually
it
have mythic
and
instead of epic.
baked cookies all day.
Oh,
Because
it's out for the DR.
for the
It was a lot of
for the
fun.
CR creatures, they don't. Pathfinder doesn't
that.
usually
Oh, 'cause
make
it's
creatures
above.
above 20. They're very rare to make them
It was
above
my first
20.
time making snickerdoodles.
Most
They came out
times it's because it
fantastic.
came from 3.5 as a
Yeah.
CR above 20. A lot of their
Right.
unique stuff is not.
But yes, so he's leaning there and kind of just casually asks you guys that.
What do you ask us again? I'm sorry.
So as
When
you
you
guys
guys
can
kill
kill
the
the
hound,
big
right?
ol'
They
hound,
said
right?
yes.
I say yes, and then like I cocked my head for a second. What do you mean that's not the one you were expecting? Oh well,
What was he expecting?
you but different.
A fate?
Probably.
Or people be mad at you guys.
So first off, who or what are you?
I am a fortune.
Like the kind you get in cookies.
No, but I have heard about those. Do they taste good?
Not
Well,
really.
The cookies do.
They're mostly
The
just,
fortune's made out of paper. They don't taste good.
They're mostly just a gimmick.
You're mostly just a gimmick.
True.
Cyclopsian fortune cookies actually tell your future.
That might actually be a
Fuck you, they're real.
Did you know that the fortune cookies are actually modeled after a cyclops' eyes?
See?
Whoa, because it's.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, they
I
are
like
too,
it.
Not,
but
but
it's a
but
great
they are now.
story. It's a great story.
They are now.
They are
Yep.
now. Like, next time we eat fortune cookies, we're just gonna stare at it and say, "Oh."
Just next time you just drop that fact.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh gosh, I love that. That's great.
Like,
I hope I remember that, because I might not.
at least that's what my buddy Spencer said. He
So-
knows lots.
What's the last thing that was said?
I am a fortune.
Oh, I am a fortune, one of the Eries from the dimension of time.
Oh.
So are you with the hounds?
I was following them.
Fair.
I was curious, but seeing you four lots, I have a
Yes.
guess.
That we're
That's two
messing with
words
time and the
related
hounds
to.
came to stop us and then
Oh,
we
well,
killed
that
them all
part's
because they
obvious.
suck.
Yeah.
Cool.
And are you here to stop us?
No,
Cool.
I actually like the idea of things being more open-ended, open to influence and interpretation. That you can harness your own destiny, as some would like to say it. But you seem to be taking that a little more literally.
Very.
Indeed.
It's kind of a funny thing because there are not many who actually try to fiddle with things as you guys have, and what I know of, there seems to be only one main person doing that.
That makes a lot of sense. I imagine we might have run into somebody else if there was someone else doing this.
Yeah, there's not many ways of doing it in the first place. Is the big thing.
Two people want to change time.
Oh, that'd be so awkward.
And they just have a time off?
Well, I went back 50 years and stopped this. Well, I went back 100 years and stopped this. Well, I went back and killed you as a kid. Well, I went back and killed you as a kid.
At the same time.
Well, I went back and killed your grandparents. Well, I went back and killed your great-grandparents.
I went back and killed the first human.
The first Cyclops.
No, we already know what happens when you go back in time and kill yourself as a kid.
That's in multiverse.
Oh,
We're not working.
No, he
with-
did.
Oh.
No, I did that.
But that is a multiverse theory, though.
I just became like dead inside. Literally.
Yeah. It was kind of weird, yeah. So I'm guessing you work with a particular one-eyed boy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be a safe assumption.
He's a weird one.
Indeed.
It's like, of course, no one that I know likes him, or you love him. I find him interesting personally. I don't know. It's like I would think someone with the ability to do that
Would do something more interesting.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Do something more interesting than rewrite history to become the ruler of a Cyclopsian empire.
But like in a super subtle and very like, he's not damming a river to change its course. He's just slowly adding shit to the shore every now and then to just kind of change how the river
As
looks.
if he's almost afraid of what could possibly happen if he went too far.
Yeah.
Have we ever considered that we don't know what he's doing while we're doing this?
Well, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know the purpose of all these subtle actions.
Yeah, but
That
he comes
too.
back in time with us.
I mean, he's trying to stop the Cyclops from going extinct.
Does help.
Wait. If he had never started interacting, would the Cyclops have completely gone extinct?
Of course, he keeps his proxies uninformed. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's something about like some war with, what was it, like Thassalon or something like that, and they ended up like slaughtering all of his people, and he was supposed to be some great prophet to save them all, and yeah, something along those lines.
Now, what year would that war have taken place in? Do you know?
You don't know that. Scale. I guess for you guys.
In
Okay,
the
hold on, give me a
future or
second.
past?
Well,
He's
no,
measuring-
in the past.
He's measuring time.
But you guys, I was going to say 3,700 some unit, blah, 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 but you guys don't know what that means. So I was...
3.7,482,392 this unit?
But yeah, but that doesn't mean anything to you. So in your you guys have that... Is it ARs? Yeah, AR.
Brennan literally doesn't know, so don't believe me.
Oh, we've been using AR for the last, like, the entirety of the campaign.
Yeah, the use in Pathfinder are AR. Because with how it is now, that was 0. It was then. So I've been like 5,000-ish, negative 5,000-ish AR.
When did the
About negative 5,400 AR was Earthfall.
So then, yeah.
So you're saying within a few hundred years?
We do actually know what he's trying to do. Avoiding this guy. Thassalon, the Cyclopses became dumbasses, and he's trying to stop it.
Yeah, when you guys went to Golgan, it was before 5,400 AR.
So when you say extinct, you just mean to stop them from becoming the Cyclopses that we know.
Oh no, they all died out.
Oh, like they were obliterated. So then he was doing stuff and got them to become the savage idiots that we know. And then got us to do stuff and make them less savage and less idiot.
Oh, he's done a lot of weird stuff. Like things like so different from how they used to be.
But he could have just gone
things
back and
are
just
different
like
from how they are.
destroyed Thassalon instead of all this garbage.
So, weird question.
Weird answer.
Are you able to track Amoka?
No, which is why I was following them. I had a feeling they were doing something like that.
And as long as Amoka doesn't do anything while he's in these times, the hounds can't track him.
It's a lot harder. But they can still, if they are there when he goes into that time, they kind of get like a wibbly wobbly, like
Peter Tingle?
Please stop calling the Peter Tingle.
yes.
He's so happy when
What did you just call it? Anyways. But yeah, they get like some sense, and then they go look for him. But a lot of times he's not there long enough, or it's too hard to find him, because he works through proxies, like you guys. So he's there, but he always has one of his proxies doing stuff, so that
So because he does his... So because he wears a glove when he does stuff, you can't trace him.
it's
Wear
not
his
harder.
glove.
He's got, and the worst part is he's got multiple gloves.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That
Yeah.
makes sense. So why don't you just trace the gloves?
Well, that's how probably how they found you.
Yeah, figured. Do you gonna stop him? Like, he comes and picks up all of his teams eventually.
Yeah.
You have to have something a little more patient than a hound to catch him. But you could catch him.
You call it a first response.
A first response that scares him away. It's a bad response.
Yeah, there are others watching, which is why he has to be so careful. I think he said he almost killed one. Oh no, he did kill a dragon. Yeah, that was
He said he killed one dragon, and then another dragon almost killed him, I think is what he said.
something like that. Yeah, but
So why are you here? Other than we're interesting to watch.
From what it sounds like, it's just curiosity. However, there could be an underlying reason.
Are we like a play? An interesting skit to watch to pass your infinity time?
I mean, I could, in a way, yes. I guess you could say I am encouraging you.
Thanks. I'm gonna go back to standing like uncomfortably close to the pillar of fire.
Okay.
Encouraging us in what way?
Well, because time is so easy to manipulate and change, it's interesting to see what people who have the ability to actually do with it. People technically have their fates and their destinies that they have that they sometimes can break the mold and cause something else to happen. But you guys are like outside, like stabbing it and just making it into something totally different.
Stabbing or sculpting?
Carving?
Depends on who you ask.
Some would say carving, some would say butchering.
Fates would say stabbing and butchering. I would say sculpting and crafting. I want to see what beautiful things you guys can make.
And what if it's horrible?
By whose perspective?
No, just like what if in general? Like we really fuck up and like something horrible for everyone
I feel like
happens?
that's
Like Earthfall?
entertaining,
Because, you guys got past that.
No, like there's gotta be worse shit than Earthfall.
I don't think so. That was huge.
Yeah, well, like what if we attract something bigger than a dragon?
Attract? What are you going to attract?
Well,
I mean, Yogg-Sothoth? I mean,
to be
come on.
fair, Maldrick, I imagine that this being is far above any sorts of consequences that could happen to the timeline. So really, anything that could happen, they might enjoy.
I mean,
No, I don't know for certain, but
I'm just asking if there's any possible future that like even the fortunes are like, we should probably not have that one happen.
No.
So like, if someone messes with time enough to like theoretically, I'm not saying it's possible that we could do it, like destroy everything. Like if we fucked up enough and Roll of God came out, like that's still chill with you guys. Like I'm not saying we could do it, but if someone were to mess with time enough and really fuck up like that bad,
theoretically,
Him?
time is infinite. Even the scope of our understanding is very minimal. I don't even know how much damage we could possibly do to the entire timeline.
I don't care. I'm asking him.
He's saying if
I'm
our
saying
actions literally cause
destroyed
the end
existence
of the world.
Now I'm just curious if you guys actually could release him.
Can you
I
answer
mean, like,
the
if-
question first before you go on to contemplating?
What?
If theoretically he was released and destroyed everything in existence,
Would that
constitute a
problem to you?
future that would be a no-no for you guys.
See, again, perspective. I think it would be great to see another, like, War of the Gods.
So apparently there is no action that we can take
That'll ever piss off the fortunes.
Not the fortunes.
But we
true.
just have to. But the fates are already mad at us for like meddling with specifically only the mortal's existence.
You poked it, therefore the fortunes are mad. It's that
Fates.
simple. Yes, my bad. The fates. The fates will never truly.
So
be
we're already hated by
So
everything that fucks with
therefore-
time. So there's
Therefore,
nothing we can
those
do.
that hate us already hate us,
And will hate us no matter what we do.
and no matter what we do, we can't piss off the
The
ones
fortunes.
that
Cool.
won't be pissed off.
Yeah, I guess
From the
at
day
that
we
point,
said yes to Sulligan, we already had our enemies.
I guess at that point, it's a matter of whose attention you actually grab. Because some people don't think you've done enough to care, but some people say anything
And
is
then
enough
all we
to
have
care.
to do is sell out Sulligan. Hopefully they get us off the hook.
Who a lot of people want to get to Soligan.
I mean, he's letting us do some cool stuff, but I have no loyalty to that man.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a very wise decision.
Yeah. Because I know he has to be there, so technically he's here somewhere, but... I mean, to be fair, whatever. So what are you guys doing?
Making sure Barzillai is successful.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna wait about 5 more days, and that'll probably happen.
What was he gonna
Genius
do?
Loki.
Take over a country, really fuck some shit up.
That guy F's some crap up, alright. Oh, that was kind of cool, actually. That's weird.
We could theoretically go back in time and stop all, what is it, 5 of them now? Now that Abigail becomes one?
All
new
5
gods.
of the Ascended Gods.
You just pop back and be like, no.
We could.
Yeah.
But that would be a problem.
I mean, for you.
mean, for you.
Oh.
But he wouldn't probably die.
Wait.
That is true.
Uh-huh. You can't stop him from
Where-
his
Oh, that's
brain.
interesting.
Where is
Historic-
he?
Historically speaking, he already lived well
trapped.
beyond
Trapped
his years before
where?
he ascended to godhood.
It's a
So
good question.
the real question is, was it his godhood
so
that
you
ended
don't
in his
know
downfall?
where he's trapped.
I mean, I imagine he
I
kind
don't
of
know
took on
when
something that
he's
was
trapped.
bigger.
Right.
Could
So,
So really, maybe
as an
So-
stripping
immortal,
him of his godhood
wait.
might keep him
Hold
alive
on.
forever.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, so his deity is still alive?
I've already told you that.
You're full of it.
Yeah, but now
Well, I mean,
they're telling
he's
Now
alive.
someone
He's
who's-
just somewhere.
So
Man,
let me
it's-
ask you this question.
It takes.
When is he?
I mean,
No, he already said he doesn't know when he is. When did he
Oh, I heard you
disappear?
ask where.
Well, you know that.
he said where.
But is it the same for my perspective as it is for your perspective?
Your 46x year AR, yes. That should be from your perspective.
Are you able to see where threads potentially could go?
Are you gonna try and
Kind of?
save him? Because I kind of want to watch you fail.
I would
No,
let
no.
you watch.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does sound
I
interesting.
mean, it does sound
It's
interesting.
not gonna work.
It's just...
Side projects.
I'm down to
Yeah.
assist.
difficult.
I'll bring popcorn.
I know the Whispering Tyrant's involved.
What knowledge check do I need for whatever you just said?
Whispering
History.
Tyrant. You give me history. You could give me
Religion?
Oh, yeah. Roll a history. I'm gonna say you have a real good chance of knowing it.
I got a 24 for history.
I only got a 22 for his
You know it because the Whispering Tyrant is actually very involved with Aridin.
Yep.
He actually. So Whispering Tyrant back
He's
in
terrifying.
800 AR was a extremely powerful necromancer who was like taking over like a chunk of Galarian. And to the point where he calls out Aridin as cheap for not ascending to godhood of his own might but of something else's. And eventually Aridin has to come and fight him and kill him himself because he was so powerful and badass.
Nobody else on Galarian could have stopped him.
Literally. A few millennia later, he ends up gathering enough power through his servants, through his own might, to become resurrected as a lich. And ends up calling him out again, as he again goes and takes over chunks of Galarian. And it took Taldor's glorious crusade with like half a dozen other countries just to defeat him enough to where they could basically put him asleep.
The adventure path that we played with Benji, we were trying to stop him from being woken up.
Again.
Or as a,
Carrying crown.
That's the plot of Carrying Crown.
The Whispering Way.
The Whispering Way, trying to wake up the Whispering Tyrant.
Tal Bafon is
So
his mortal name.
you're saying if we knew when he was asleep, where he was asleep,
Oh, that's in
and
the
how
Gallus
to
Fire. You know
kill
that.
him indefinitely.
Yeah, that one.
Good luck.
You're talking about the entire planet of Galarian was like, yeah, we have no idea.
I mean, everything did basically smite him after the fight, and he came back.
He was struck
But
down
he's a
by
lich.
God.
We just need to find his phylactery.
Yeah, are you saying that Aridin was so dumb he couldn't find a lich's phylactery somewhere on Galarian? Is your god so fallible as to skip by that detail?
So to put it in perspective, this was a man who was trying to achieve godhood of his own power.
Without a rock.
And was literally like that far from it. He's basically a demigod, at least.
Because he tried really hard.
Because he just, through hundreds of years... Yeah.
That actually, now that I know that's a thing, would be Zelsir's goal.
And
To become
Zelsier would be
that?
stomped by almost everybody at
To
Galarian.
wait, to bring him back? Or to become
No,
that?
to become the new... To ascend to godhood.
Technically, yeah, good luck figuring out how, as so few things have done. But yeah, the Starstone is not the only way to ascend. It's just the easiest.
Zelsir has
Yeah,
time,
that's
as
right.
far
I
as
mean,
she
yes.
thinks.
That's just not a scary deal.
Yeah, so it was involved in it.
The most
It's-
powerful
it's-
mortal to ever exist on Galarian.
Basically, yeah.
That would cause some trouble.
He's a thing.
The Whispering Tyrant doesn't get a CR, and the mythic Ghoul Lord in the Underdark does.
Oh.
Just for reference of power levels.
And as things currently alive and active in Galarian, the Ghoul Lord is the strongest thing.
The strongest thing with stats.
Yep.
Depending on how you look at it. I don't think you can still kill a Tarrasque, because that's like next to impossible.
Well,
but, like,
Technically, as written, you can't kill the Tarrasque. But yeah.
I mean, you guys for a favor from God.
I mean, if you have a favor of a god, yes, you probably could.
That's just the number one way of like, yeah, if you're playing a very religious character, you ask for a miracle enough times, one of the times they might answer and be like, yeah, his regen's gone. For a little bit.
Technically, I think it's an Inquisitor can overcome regen.
Yeah. I think that they... Oh, yeah, one of the things they can do is they can
Well, I think
stop
if they
regen.
get a crit, they stop
They
regen
stop
for
regen
one
for
round.
one
That's
round.
what it is.
So an Inquisitor can technically kill the Tarrasque if the
At
Tarrasque
high
already
enough
in the-
level, they have a thing that does that.
He's already in the dead zone.
I remember realizing that at one point. So Inquisitor could kill a Tarrasque.
So all I have to do is have Nadora meet Inquisitor. And Nadora and the Inquisitor can actually defeat the Tarrasque.
I think the door.
Nadora killed the Tarrasque.
Off of statistical probability.
And I run the numbers.
So average says I win eventually.
Average says I knock it out. It goes sleepy buys.
So no matter where this crazy train goes, you're just entertained.
Nope.
From your perspective, yeah.
And how much more are we allowed to do with something like something actually scary comes at us?
So
Like,
this
how-
is the first Great Hound you guys saw, right?
Yeah. So how big of a splash do we have to agree to make? Or something scarier than the Great Hound comes after us?
Maybe like, I guess at your guys' rigs, you guys probably aren't doing big things, you're doing little small shifts.
So long as we never agree to anything like monumental,
Save a god.
as long as we never, think about saving a god or killing a god. As long as we don't change pantheons, I think we should be safe.
So we won't change Pantheon.
Or release like a Tarrasque or something stupid like that.
I mean, it does kind of build up. So like you do something big and it's more.
Yeah,
You
but
do
this is
little
also
things you don't
again,
get
it's
there.
built up, but it's also spread out against every single group that's doing it.
Well, it doesn't mean others.
They have all the time in the
They're
world.
definitely.
Mhm.
Well, let's just say he probably recruited you guys when he did because one of his groups drew
Succumbed.
too much attention and got killed off.
Yeah. And all we have to do is make sure to say no at some point before we bring over something that can actually kill us.
Nils is just like, and there is the rub.
But if you guys don't like a Mocha, the bigger thing you go against, the more it'll want to get a Mocha.
Oh,
So
so the
it's all about
alternative idea is to
Perspective.
do enough stuff until like one of those dragons shows up and be like, "Hey, bro, we've been waiting for you. It's about time. Let's go that way."
Oh, that'd be so interesting. Ooh. Yeah, 'cause you got a few things. Like, eventually, Fates will want to help find you. Time Dragon's kind of like the top of the food chain.
So we get to be
Yeah.
the ones that go ahead and bring in a mocha.
We're just
Ooh, some people would really
Cannon
like
fodder.
you. They'd still want to kill you, but they'd appreciate you.
therein lies the problem.
Hmm.
I don't want to die yet. I don't want to die.
Does
yet.
anyone?
But yes,
That's true. Some people
Yes.
are crazy.
Perhaps we can.
or just old. If I was old, I'd be okay with dying.
I don't understand that one. How do I have to deal with it?
If we
Do you know what
It's-
it's like getting old?
I mean, kinda. This is not my first physical form.
Oh, you've changed.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Do they know that?
No.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, that,
funny.
But
You were you the swan?
Yeah.
Oh, I like you.
fun times.
You were the swan.
Once upon a time.
You know, like his big bird, but like smaller.
I know a swan.
Okay.
Or what is swan?
Good times.
What have you been up to?
Theoretically speaking, if you go back with a mocha by yourself and change something, we would have no clue.
Correct.
We're just like,
It just has to be something that Sullivan's
Just like-
willing to allow.
I think Cassandra just hides her double-bladed sword.
It's kind of big. I don't know if you can really hide it that well. Just kidding.
Kind of 6 feet tall.
That's at 6 feet.
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, because it's doing the same damage as a short sword, so that way it is considered a light weapon. It's just more flavor than short swords.
Yeah.
So,
Big blade, yeah.
I'm not sure how much smaller that makes it than a normal double-bladed sword.
Not much.
Not enough.
Interesting thought, my fellows. Do we know if Soligan can hear our conversations?
Nope. But,
He has said that at some points he is scrying on us.
but like, doesn't matter. Couldn't he go into the future and see if we're ever going to betray him, and then know when we're going to betray him, and then kill us?
I imagine he expects everyone to betray him at some point. Either because they
And
think
what's
he's a
stopping
bad guy,
future
or for
Sulligan
their own
from sending
purpose.
notes and messages to past Sulligan?
Oh, that'd be weird. I don't know if he's ever talked to himself like that. Oh, no.
I mean,
That sounds
I imagine, and I'm not very clear in this whole, like, how the fuck time works thing, but I don't imagine it'd be good to exist twice in the same spot.
I think he's afraid to try.
But I
and he
imagine,
hasn't
like,
had to yet.
leaving a message for yourself wouldn't be a bad idea.
He may have done that before.
Yeah. So he could know, like, future Sulligan, if he ever had people rebel against him and fail, or he got away in time, could just go back and be like, alright, well, Sulligan's out right now, so they will betray you in 6 days. Get rid of them. And then he takes you guys somewhere to do a mission and then leaves you.
Yeah, you can't be screwed.
Because fuck. There's a great power in the Mwangi expanse we must uncover. Okay, bye.
Yeah, good luck with that. Hey, Mocha,
Well,
we think we
In
found
that
it.
scenario, it would be best to keep
Yeah, Mocha.
any whisperings of this to ourselves then, and know that we would have one shot.
Theoretically.
All hypothetically, of course.
Or infinity shots.
I like how he thinks.
Mhm. Yeah, that's how that works. You have one shot or you have all the shots.
I guess, yeah.
So, you guys don't actually like Omoka.
I don't dislike him.
I was told to work with him.
Huh.
Sulligan said, hey, do you want to do some cool stuff? And I said, yes. He was an interesting entity to exist with.
He is a very unique entity.
it was a new game.
So far, I have just failed to do damage control. Looking at you, Niels, with your fireball.
Hey, they started it.
Oh,
That was in the
get you.
Ravens.
No.
The Ravens claim to be heroes of humanity, and yet they used innocent civilians as a shield.
Heroes don't use
It is not our fault if, when striking, they use that shield to block.
Yeah, but he wasn't wearing the civilians on his arms. They were a shield.
Close enough.
Yep. Yeah, Prathos is very interesting in how he's doing this stuff. He's just, especially like puzzle pieces moving around.
What was that word you just used?
Puzzle?
Prathos?
Prathos.
Nope. Don't know that one.
Prathos Sulligan Omoka. I believe that's his full name.
Oh, yeah, he just calls himself Sulligan.
Is the name Prathos any knowledgeable checking?
Yeah.
What would you like us to roll?
You guys have actually personally heard the name and dealt with it before, as it's what is known as the Cyclopsian deity.
Oh. That's very interesting.
Fascinating.
So he's named after a god.
Named after you.
Well, I mean, the way gods work, you have to be a god to, like, give powers. Unless, coincidentally, clerics of ideals can kind of, like, pretend make gods.
I mean, if you become powerful enough, you could.
Because I know that
Not
you
many
can
get there.
you can worship ideals that aren't tied to a specific entity.
Mhm.
So I guess if thousands of people all worship the exact same ideals, they all ask for power, they could theoretically all get power. You end up having a bunch of divine warriors of a god. Like, if Rasmer tried hard enough, could he have made actual clerics?
With that thought
Yeah,
process,
there are
yes.
ways
With the
to
thought
get there.
process of, like, instilling ideals and being a paragon of a concept, could he have artificially made clerics of Rasmer?
He could have gotten there. It's a little more difficult than that, but yeah.
It's a whole lot of weird coincidence and, like, wishy-washy shit, but, like, just a thought.
Yeah, technically Rasmer could just have clerics of ideal who just follow his philosophies, which is kind of weird to think about. And I decided when you guys are doing to not go there. But yeah, technically.
Just stick with poser clerics.
Stick with poser clerics. Yeah,
Honestly,
basically.
I just assumed that he had reached at least that point. Not attaining true godhood, but he had probably succeeded in getting.
I
some
mean, he
clerics
could have. He
together.
could also just. I mean, if you're Rasmer and you're known throughout the world, anyone who kind of has the same viewpoints as you is going to be drawn to you. And then it takes him being a very, like, good cult leader to convince them that yes, you have actually been my follower the whole time. I granted you powers this far away. That's a testament to how awesome I am.
Yeah, no, I mean, Mitch had assumed that was already the case by now, or by then.
Well, so I tried to not change him too much from how he was in canon. In canon, he hadn't gone there. Could he in the future have gone there? Yeah. So, like, because I had said there was no reason for him to... He did end up achieving immortality, so in present day for this campaign...
He could very well
he
have clerics.
probably could have actually had that by then. Because his first goal was like,
So,
cool, I got my thing, I want to be immortal.
Big question. Are you going to help us? Or should we just ignore the fact that you're in this room?
Do you need help with something?
Right now, no. Like, not at all. Like, we're literally just waiting for a goblin to either try something stupid or give up.
Ooh, goblins are really good at both of those.
Yep.
Cool either way.
Okay, you buzzed. But there was no thing.
My phone does that too.
Sometimes I think I'm crazy and there's a phantom buzz. That's happened before.
Oh, I'll have my phone on
A
vibrate.
phantom buzz, and you think that, like...
I had
there's
the
nothing.
phantom buzz bad, so that's why I stopped doing vibrate.
My dad had to switch what pocket his phone was in. So he'd always have his phone in his right pocket. And he got the phantom buzz when it was in his pocket. When he switched pockets, this leg's not...
Acclimated yet?
So there's no phantom buzz in this pocket.
That's interesting.
And because it's like his leg doesn't feel the phone, there's no way that it could be buzzing. Weird stuff.
That's kind of funny, actually.
So yeah, I think it's thanks for the info. Look forward to having more talks. We're gonna stand here and do nothing.
If we ever wanted to make contact with you, is that possible?
Yeah.
Call 972 fuck time.
.com.
Call
What?
JG
No, it's a
Wentworth.
phone number. There's no .com and phone numbers.
877 cash
Oh,
back.
.net. It's .com.
Oh.
Arcanist elves. I love that you clicked on the picture and it got smaller.
Oh, it did.
Like if you X out of it, the picture's way bigger.
That's hella funny.
And it's super clean. Like,
Yep.
Okay, it was about the same size on this screen. That screen's just bigger.
That's a sick picture, though.
that is
I do like that.
actually.
I don't quite like beetle head, but other than that, that's a sick
Yeah,
picture.
it's weird. Insectoid head is kind of weird.
Weird and insectoid.
Mhm.
And a head.
Mm-hmm.
It's also weird that the one that looks,
It'll work
quote,
anyways.
more humanoid is the one that's okay with changing the timeline, and the one that looks less humanoid wants to preserve the timeline.
Oh, I was thinking this one has hard lines and ridges.
Yeah.
And this one looks a lot like a fae.
Hard lines,
That's how it
ridges
describes
looks like
it.
it'd be harder to like reason with, as
Mhm.
it doesn't really have anything you could reason with. So it kind of just feels like a hard line.
Less relatable.
This is how
yeah.
things should go. You can't convince me otherwise. You literally cannot convince me otherwise.
So when you say that, he kind of says, "You know, I think this is worth it. Go ahead and give me a spellcraft anyone who feels like it." As he pulls some fun.
I got a 37.
Okay,
I
you
got
did
like a 35. I
spellcraft check.
think.
It's always easy.
Yeah.
So he uses, as you got a really high roll, his
was only
once a
200.
year. I think he got the highest, maybe.
You got 37. I got 35.
Whatever. To use his once a year wish, and pulls up a scroll. Here. I am Vickle. And he hands you a scroll of planar ally greater specifically for him. So wherever you are, I have been around for a long time. I doubt you'll go back. Yeah, even he doesn't want to go back that far. Yeah, so keep in touch, I guess.
I did literally just look at summon planar ally greater, and Eerie wasn't on the list, so I'm glad it's specifically tied to
Yeah, it's
This
because it
Eerie.
only goes to 18 hit die, and Eerie's are
Solars
23.
and Pit Fiends are on there. And I've noticed that stipulation before.
You can probably through feats or archetypes or prestige classes up.
Oh,
Hit
spell
die.
specialization.
If you're a summoner specifically,
Well, the spell is specifically 18 hit die. Not
but if,
cast level
I'm sure there's some
but,
summon build
yeah.
that lets you up the amount of hit dice of a spell.
Mhm.
So that they put it on there, be like, oh yeah, if you do this build, you can technically summon like 25 hit dice worth of outsiders.
Some
I wonder
silly
if
thing.
maybe like the Eerie were in a later book, because this says Pathfinder 2018, and so Summon Planar Ally was an original spell.
Oh yeah, they might not have updated for every single.
So I
Yeah,
wonder.
it's an original spell.
So I wonder, if theoretically speaking, any Planar Ally you could
And these guys.
add, because they haven't eroded, to Adam itself.
Mm-hmm.
Possible.
Oh, these guys are from Role Playing Adventures from 2018. Yeah.
So yeah, Solars and Pit Fiends are on there, and they're a higher CR. So,
Yeah.
because like what?
Pit Fiends are 20, Solars are 23.
And these guys are 19.
Yeah. Yeah, Solar are big beefy boys. But yeah.
Fun. We have a new friend.
It's also based off hit die instead of CR, which is also kind
And you said Victor?
Vickle.
Vickle. Vickul.
Very fun. The plot thickens.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I have to roll to cast a scroll?
It's a UMD.
Well, I mean, what do I have to?
That's an 8th level spell, so it's 15th level caster, so 35.
I technically can do it.
this will be easier to do because he made it specifically so you guys could call him.
Okay.
That item could also be worth next to nothing.
That scroll?
Because you can lower items cost by keying into specific races and classes.
Yeah.
So you could put in the stipulation that only the 4 combos that are present before him can activate it.
Hey, it costs 200th of the cost. Oh. Good luck selling that. Good luck it being useful. You'll get like a penny for it.
We weren't here to sell it anyway.
Right. No, I
honestly, it's
just
just
tried.
it was found to be a workaround for creating scrolls and stuff before any kind of like custom making magic items faster. Because you create an 8th level scroll, that's how much money?
Let me double check that real quick. Because scrolls are the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I won't do any fighting today at this point.
I would hope not.
No, we're gonna start another 14 person combat right now.
Okay.
So, Vickle,
3,000.
interesting
Any
question.
double scroll.
Mm.
Okay.
So, you just used a once-a-year ability to create this scroll. If we use it later in another timeline, will the Vickle we summon be able to do this again in case we need to talk to him again? Or
Yeah,
you
as long
again?
as it's not within a year, yeah.
A year of right now.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, theoretically, also, if we go back in time before now, which would break the pattern that we've been following up until this point, would you even know who we are if we summoned you?
No, but if you summon me specifically, I can imply that I knew you at one point, or that I will know you soon enough.
So
Fair enough.
you don't see the timeline as one entity. You see the timeline as in relation to where you are in the timeline.
Yeah.
An infinite river.
It's a weird history. I mean, yeah, it's a big old pond, and whenever you do something to it, it just affects everything around it.
I assumed you just saw the timeline. Interesting.
Why do you assume it's a line?
It's not. It's I guess you say more like a web. It just from one point could go in so many
It's like
directions.
wibbly wobbly,
Timey-wimey.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
a solid one.
I like that.
Have you seen any floating police boxes by any chance?
What's a police box?
Okay, never mind.
We'll talk to you in a couple thousand years when you know what a police box is.
Ooh,
Would we know what a
that was
police box
interesting.
is?
We do know
What
what a police
color are
box
they?
is.
This one's blue,
Yeah, the one in question's blue.
Blue's a good color.
and it's bigger on the inside.
Blue is a good color.
Oh, magic does do that. Aha, blue is a good color.
So does Squee try anything?
He will. He will try something, but it will not be for tonight. Go figure. I do think I know what Squee's gonna end up trying and how. Cool. So you will have that to deal with, but we will handle that this next time. As of this point, at least, I think that is about all. Unless you guys want to ask something else.
I don't have
I do
anything.
enjoy conversations like this.
I don't have anything specifically that I know of to ask right now.
Yeah, neither do I.
Would you allow us to start next session with the question if we think of anything?
Yeah, I see no reason not to.
Okay.
Cool, fair enough.
He's got time.
Who
doesn't have time
When
in
you
this
have
campaign?
time. I got time.
All right.
I hate those memes so much.
Sounds like that was his favorite.
Matt sends those to
Luna,
me
be doing
all the
something.
time also.
Something on my back.
Well, that sounds like a Luna thing to do.
What was it? I don't know.
Or what do you send me today? Like the ones where it's like 9 ways to sound cool and to not and sound like Theoden the king, and it's just like instead of saying this mundane thing, say this thing that Theoden said instead.
I think my favorite was I posted the meme on. Did you guys see Gunner's reply to the meme on my Facebook? So he had the whole thing of when it was Theoden being controlled by Sauron.
Oh, you have no
And it's
power
like, you
here.
have no power here.
I liked that reply. I saw that reply.
It's
Yeah.
like,
All right, well then we'll guess we'll end the stream.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Good night.
everybody.